Hey!
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CrowCast, episode 13. We have a special guest this evening.
Who's
Mr. Paul Anthony from Planet Rock. He'll be joining us later. But for the moment, it's just us five boys from Bridgend. How's your week been, boys?
Yeah, really good, man. Really good. Ordered myself some new EMG pickups to put in my precision. So that my old 50s reissue will be coming back out to play.
Oh, bloody lovely.
Aye. Can't wait to look at the rack and see all the P bases in it.
It's not the Gibson one, is it?
No, it's a P base, but I just said
P-base,
No, my Gibson has it's got the pickup on the track. Remember, Dave? The slidey pickup.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, week's been great. I mean, time's flying. I don't know how everybody else feels. It's just flying by.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane, but it's insane. Been so busy this week. Just writing constantly, I'm forever in the studio. Like, the weather's nice again now, but I haven't seen it. I've just been stuck in this bastard room. but it's good. It's good. You know, the juices are flowing. The Southern Comfort is flowing as well. I think that really helps unlock the labyrinth in the brain, like, just to relax a bit.
Now you see my logic.
Yeah. But the thing is, Dave, I can't be drinking wine, but I've been trying that recently, right? The headaches. I'd get the day after. I cannot do red wine.
Yeah, but how much already are you drinking? You're probably drinking. I'll never drink more than a bottle. That's my max. I'll drink a bottle and I'll stop.
Oh, right. That's my problem then.
Yeah. Never ever drink more than one bottle of wine.
Okay.
No.
Ever.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, when I'm on it, but I mean, in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the tip.
Joe, right? How many bottles do you know on Shane? Joe, honestly, I have no idea. It's got to be. Well, it's got to be in the 20s now. It's got to be. Honestly, it's got to be. I don't get hangovers, though. I don't get hangovers if I stick to whiskey, Southern Comfort, any sort of spirit. I'm fine. It's just a wine. I cannot do wine. So
everyone's got one drink that doesn't agree with them, and I think that must be yours then.
Aye, mine's alcohol.
Yeah.
Brilliant. How's your week been, Dave?
It's been all right this week. It's been quick, fucking quick as fuck. Busy. Work and stuff, and seeing my folks. Went to see my mum. It was her birthday last week, so we popped over there, sat in the garden in the rain, and had a cup of tea. Yeah, that's all you can do, really, isn't it? Yeah. Been working on, rather than songwriting, I've been working on drills and on the guitar and economy picking and that type of stuff. So really made some good progress with that now. So I'm just sitting there. I'll sit there. I've been watching, like, on TV. I've been watching this program, Pitbulls and Proleys, and everyone's watched it. It's about, in New Orleans. There's it's like a dog sanctuary for, like, pit bulls, and the people who work there are, like, all Proleys. So I'm addicted to that now. It's heartbreaking. So I watch that, and I'll do my drills. I'll sort of, like, do my economy picking drills. I'll just do that for the hour that it's on, and that'll be my practice for the day. And I made some really good headway with it, so I'm really happy about that.
So as you're doing it, you're crying into your guitar, like, is it? With the
Well, do you know what?
Guitar gently weeps.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching it the other day. You know, I'm like with animals and dogs and stuff, and they kind of rehome dogs, and they rescue dogs off the street and stuff. And I was just like, oh, this is so beautiful. Oh. So yeah, that's what I've been up to mainly. Been practicing that kind of thing. So it's going well. Yeah.
What about you, Shane? Have you been doing drills then?
I got fuck all on Dave, but I'll be honest. You know. Yeah. No, I'm winning the Kemper War, but I'm winning.
Oh, good, man. That's good to know.
Because what day did I see you? Friday, was it? Was that Friday I see you?
Yes.
And then we were having a chat about that. So I think it was the next day. I was like, right, okay. Only took an hour. I was like, oh, that'll do. Leave it.
Oh, good. What did you pick after? What sound did you like?
Orange. Orange Rockaver 100.
There
Nice.
are,
Let's call it kill.
always
Then-
trust the orange, but
Yeah, I will trust the orange with a Mesa cab.
Are the ones
Then
that
backed off. Go on.
are the Rock of Herbs what Jim Root uses his own version of
Yeah.
them? Yeah, thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the one we used with Mike when we done the guitars.
Yeah.
That was an orange Rockaver.
Yeah.
And then the old jazz chorus for the clean.
Lovely.
Very cool. Lovely,
So
bud.
yeah,
whenever you mention jazz chorus, I know it just reminds me of Anchorman, jazz flute.
Oh, he does a bit of aqualung, doesn't he?
That's it.
yeah.
Jazz flute.
I watched the
I didn't have
second
no
one.
problem with all the jazz.
I watched the second one of them the other day, Anchorman 2. It was so random that film is.
Oh, so good though.
How random does it go towards the end when they're all fighting in the thing? It's like so
Yeah.
random. Like
I know it don't make sense at all, but it's brilliant.
no, yeah.
I love it. How's your week been, Ron? I could see you've arranged the room there, or rearranged the room.
Yes, had a bit of a spruce sun, had a bit of a late spring clean.
Look at that.
Yeah,
got the main
really
kit
good week. I've got the main kit up now, which is wicked.
Nice.
So I'm going to start micing now this week. I've got all the microphones landed, which is great. And then I've got the electric kit still set up at the back. So I've got a nice 25-foot lead that like reels down the one side of the room into this, and then I've got the laptop. I got to learn how to. I know there's going to be loads of people say it's simple, but I'm going to learn how to do like remote. So I'm going to have the laptop set up when I do like the drums and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I can kind of operate it from the laptop, and I don't have to keep running back and forth like a lunatic. Like especially like we've all got in years now, haven't we? So, and then I had to buy myself a really long extension lead for my in-ears as well, which is really cool. So yeah, been a busy week, kind of rebuilding a studio, getting more comfortable now. And the same as you, Shane, just having to tinker around. And I think a change of environment sometimes it makes you more creative, if that makes sense, because you kind of start to set it back up. I got the settee now, so when you're allowed to come up, you know what I mean, you sit by there, have a little dabble, and you know, it's getting comfortable. It's getting there, like, you know.
Looks good, bud.
It is looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting there. Just got to mic the bugger. So next week you'll see the mics on there. And then rig all that up then. So, and then we're ready to go then. So we can start demoing with the real kit as well, which is going to be fantastic.
Your neighbours are gonna love you, bud, don't they?
Yeah.
Your neighbours are
I
gonna
got no
love you.
neighbours, have I? I got no neighbours, but I got a load of. I was speaking to Lloyd about this, or maybe you as well. I got a load of soundproofing stuff coming.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
So, like, what you can't see now, obviously, because of the world of TV and all that, but behind what I'm looking at now, there's still a big space, and all of that is going to be that's the next project now to do the walls, do all the soundproofing, because
So your
Claire's
egg
put up the
boxes out?
drums. No, yeah, actually, acoustic blankets, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, acoustic blankets. So I've ordered a load of them, and then obviously I'm going to use like the pads you got then, Shane, just to make the room sound a lot punchier, you know, because then obviously I don't need to worry about like making the kit sound awesome. We can obviously send the files off. That's the boring side of it. But as long as I get a good feed in, I've been speaking to Chris Clancy. He's told me just get a good line in. Charlie sent me a load of microphones as well, which is fantastic to try out.
Cool.
So yeah, it's exciting times, and obviously drinking with you as well. That hasn't stopped, which is it's quite a fun sport. That is, boys. You should try that.
I do it
Yeah.
just in moderation.
I'm
fucking
retired from that game.
Well, it's at least once a week with Shane now, and I've avoided the second dip in at the moment. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think we are going to have a little bit of a tippler tonight. I think. So it goes, isn't it?
Did you watch the download thing over the weekend?
Yes and no. So yes, we were doing one of those virtual pubs. I think a lot of people do them now. So we do a Zoom thing, and we had a bit of a break, and then everybody kind of watched it together, which was cool. It was really cool. We had a lot of love, man. Do you see our boys?
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, it sounding a bit blowing our own trumpets. I was watching it and I was kind of like yawn, 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 and then we came on.
This rules.
Okay.
Gone.
Probably for the good.
Where'd you go, bud? Yep, he's
Yeah.
gone. Completely gone.
Yeah.
There we are.
But
Jane
speaking
picked
of,
up on there. Got to love a second dip with Greeno. Well done, Jane. Don't win nothing, mind. Bloody skint.
It was like
Yeah.
this.
He's gone, hasn't he? He's completely gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he turned into a spinning wheel.
Yeah, but we did get
Yes.
a lot of love, so it was lovely to see. Actually, we were reading the comments and stuff, and but a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a shame it was only one song," but at the end of the day, we were happy to have a great slot.
Yeah.
And you know, we kind of knew it was only going to be one song. I know we did ask for like a lot of footage and stuff. We got all that together, and then it kind of wasn't needed. So then we just thought, what can we do? They asked us to do a shout out. So we thought, what can we do a bit different? So that's when we come up with that idea then of doing the whole CrowCast, pass the paper along. And
Hey, you came up with that idea, Spielberg. Don't put yourself down there.
thank you, boy.
That was your idea. That was a masterpiece. That was, but that made China an internet star. Like,
It was. He nearly broke
Yeah,
the internet. It did.
So speaking of that, but how is the cheek?
It's
Good?
fine, but it's absolutely fine. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good shot. Fair play. All the way
Yeah,
from Ogden
I-
Vale.
It did bad for 12 miles, but
Got a hell of an harmony then.
well, it's like that conversation we were having a couple of weeks back about superheroes. I obviously inherited Superman's powers.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. Like we could say it now. Like we were, of course, I had the idea and told the boys and what have you to say your piece and then pass it on. And then I said to Shina, we know Shina doesn't really like talking too much. So I just said, Shina, all you got to do is crump it up and throw it to your right hand side. How many takes did it take you, Shina?
Well, put it this way: I went through a cartridge of ink in the printer.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
So yeah,
Because first
there
you
was a
threw
couple of videos that
First you
I
threw it
just
to your
used to
left.
scrumple up paper.
First you threw it to your left, didn't you? And it was perfect, except you threw it to the left. And I was like, oh no, it needs to be on the right.
Aye, but he done it in landscape as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And then he threw it one of them like down.
And then
he
one of
threw
them
it,
was up.
like, no, another one shine, and then that one was absolute perfect. I worked well. Anyway.
That was the tempo on that was, but this is it. I ain't doing no fucking more. As I've run out of ink.
Everyone
Everyone's loving each other.
You were fucking eyes and trying for ink.
Yeah. Oh, I've had plenty of arguments about the ink. Don't worry about that one. Yeah.
outtake video to follow. That would have been a great idea, wouldn't it?
I've got loads. I've got loads, honestly. I have anyway. I don't know if you boys have, but I got loads.
Oh God, mine was bad
Yeah.
enough as it was. I don't friggin'.
The ink cartridge was worth it. Amazing. But yeah, otherwise, it was a really quick week, boys. That's what I felt. And 13 weeks now. I know I say
Okay.
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Insane.
It's gone quick.
Absolutely insane. So let's start it off. Lloyd, have you got a question, bud?
Yeah, we have. This one's from Stuart Charles, and I know. First of all, sorry, buddy, you've asked this a few times, and we haven't got around to it. So this is your week, buddy. How do the guys go about deciding which songs go into a set, especially when you have to play shorter slots? Has there been any argument about dropping or keeping in a track?
No, there hasn't been arguments, but my God, it's been
It's
difficult.
difficult. Yeah.
We've had many a deliberation over it. No, we never argue about it. Normally, like what the crowd wants, the crowd kind of basically determine what we play live. And then it just gets like Stuart said, it gets narrows down into the time limit we got. But obviously the big tunes like Blink and Someone Someday, and all the
Rock and Rolling Dead.
yeah. And then you gotta, I don't know, you just gotta try and make it work. But it is difficult. We're like, oh, we're not playing that tonight. We'll get there. Or,
It's hard, isn't it? Especially when you got a half-hour set, because
yeah.
I love playing all our songs, so it's really hard.
I think one of the hardest ones for us to choose in sort of recent gigs was the support slot with Funeral in Shepherd's Bush Empire. That was a tricky one.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Because
Yeah.
we didn't have long, did we? Was it 20? No, we had about half hour, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, was it 25 or half hour?
I got because that was up there with like the download sort of territory, like in length, wasn't it? That was 25 download last year.
Yeah. And Scotland was an hard one because we had to drop a couple, didn't we? Winter Storm.
Yes,
I think that was Winter Storm, wasn't it?
I believe it was. Yeah, it was Troon in Troon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure we had to shave a couple off there.
You do sometimes.
That's right. Yeah.
We got someone side stage going wrap it up sometimes.
Yeah, because apparently we went on late, but I think the band on before us had run over. So which it happens, it does happen.
It does happen.
Yeah,
happens all the time.
It's difficult. Hopefully though, we won't be far and few between now doing shorter sets. I hope so. It won't be such a turmoil.
Yeah.
That's the word I described. It's a turmoil.
Stuart Charles just commented, gutted to have seen the fight that dropped. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back in due course,
It is tricky. Like, we got 2 albums, and as successful as the second album has been, you kind of want to play your new stuff to sell the record, but generally because we love it as well, don't we? We got a banging album, we got some great tunes on it, so something has to give way. The fight that is a class tune. We always kind of played that second, didn't we, early on? Was it second?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Don't give a damn. Straight into the fight there, and it gave that energy straight away. It was like, bang, here we are, the Crows are here. So I know what he means, but I don't know. It is one of the headaches you have as a band. It's almost like your success in it becomes a bit of an issue doing your set, like. So it's a great place to be though. We got great tunes. I'm just trying to pick it to a set that, I don't know, caters for everyone sometimes. So it's good. It's a good place to be. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for the question, bud.
Great question.
Yeah.
Worth the wait.
It's another 13 weeks till your next one.
Yep.
Just a quick one before we move on. Few people are asking about the latest gig changes. There's a few on here. I've kind of missed them, but nothing's really in our control at the moment because of the circumstance. I think a lot of the fans are aware of this, and a lot are not. So obviously we're signed to United Talent. So we're signed to a new agent. We've got management, so they're kind of looking after what we're doing next year. So we're not, and obviously, like all of you didn't know, the surprise was we were playing Download this year. So we have a lot planned for next year. Does that make sense as well, boys? As I'm saying that, I don't want it to kind of seem a bit jumbly, because it is hard. You can't give too much away. But we had a lot planned for next year, which is 2021. So now everything's kind of getting cancelled. It's whether we can fit or whether they clash with the scheduled things already. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that because there's a few people asking, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that gig? And I've had a few messages, but I think that just kind of clears it up the best we can at the moment. So, and the Bradford gig has been re-announced, and more shall follow.
Yeah. Sold out, which is great.
Yeah. Wow. That was quick, wasn't it? Was it sold out originally or?
No, I don't think it was.
It was close to being sold out. But I just think now that rescheduling has just made out. I'm booking that. Everyone just wants to go and see a show, don't they? So
yeah.
And the hardest thing was the gigs that we already announced pre-pandemic. There wasn't really a chance for them to sell out because of obviously everything that was happening. So I, for one, didn't want to buy any concert tickets kind of when everything started hitting the fan because you didn't know what was happening really. So it was an horrible place to be, wasn't it? Like, you know, so
Yeah, it was.
so yeah, nice. Thanks for your support. And they're starting to sell out as we're announcing them. So that's fantastic.
Incredible. Absolutely
You got
incredible.
some birthdays.
We got some birthdays. Let's start with Marilyn Williams. So birthday today. That's from your daughter, Nicola Richards. Happy birthday, Marilyn. I think Nicola bought her. Well, I know Nicola bought her for her mum. So that's really cool. Sam Hatt. It's his 19th birthday, or it was yesterday, actually. Happy birthday, Sam. He's been on the show. He asked us a question on the last CrowCast. We have Spanner McCann. It was his birthday yesterday. Do you remember Spanner, boys? We did when we did the gig up in Ireland.
As in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, such a character, lovely guy. But it was his birthday yesterday, and he put up on Facebook in the Reaper T-shirt, looking hard as nails. Fair play for him. You wouldn't want to mess with him. Happy birthday, Spanner.
Happy birthday.
We got Rob Evans. It's his birthday on the 20th. That's lots of love from Harriet, your partner. Happy birthday, Rob, on the 20th. Didn't say how old he was. Kept that quiet. Alan
man.
McGrath has got in touch, asking if we could wish his partner, Christine, a happy birthday for this coming Friday. He said our music has helped her through this tough time, which is amazing. Happy birthday, Christine.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And we also got Ronnie Exwood. It's his birthday on Thursday. He's growing up. He's growing up.
There he is, Blair. See? There you go.
Another you,
sitting on two pillows this week, boys.
Happy birthday for Thursday, brother.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday for Thursday, bud.
Happy birthday, son.
And that's all the birthdays.
Smash in. Do you want to grab your acoustic, buddy?
Oh, I haven't got it this week.
Oh, never.
Say hello to my little friend.
Hey.
Tell me the lyric. Give me the lyric. What's the next lyric? It's lyric time. Tell me the lyric. Give me the lyric. What's the next lyric? It's lyric time. What's the next line? What's the next line? What's the next line? This week's lyric. Oh, I nearly said the song, then. What was I thinking? It's from the song. What a muppet. Okay, so the first lyric is, I see the way you look at me. What's the lyric that follows? I see the way you look at me.
And the prize, thanks to the lovely Tanith
It's a pussycat.
is
Cat's back.
the cat's not included.
Another chance to win the cat, everybody. Another chance to win the cat.
Yes, this fabulous one this week.
Tanith,
Lovely.
thank you so much, lovely. Another
Thank you,
necklace for Tanith Chown. So the lyric again, I see the way you look at me. What's the lyric that follows? Go.
Have you got a question, Lloyd boy?
2 seconds, buddy. 2 seconds. Hang on. I have. This is from Leanne Hazelwood. Have you ever been walking along a road or in a car and heard someone else booming out TDC out of their car stereo? For example, like Shane could be walking along and hear himself booming out of someone's car and think, yeah, man, that's me.
Yeah, man. That's exactly what I talk.
I'll
Yeah,
go
man.
first. Yeah, it's happened a couple of times, which is great. So yeah, and weirdly as well, it's been great lately because we've been on Planet Rock a lot. So there's a lot of people locally who listen to Planet Rock where we're from. So it's just a timing thing, you know. If you drive into Tesco's and there's windows down, you can actually hear our song on. So yeah, it's great. And I've heard it in Cardiff. I've heard it when we were in London. It's a weird one because you always wonder, you know, they don't even know who you are if you're passing them. Do you know what I mean? It's like you got your song blasting out. Oh, that's, you know, I'm just a drummer.
Well, funny you mention that. I passed someone with one of our tote bags the other day, and it just completely blanked me. And I was like, "All right, can't be that big a fan, man." Thank
That's
you.
great.
I had it was like an engineer come up to fix one of our machines in the joinery, going back probably end of last year, and no, it was between the Monster Magnet tour and the Point of No Return tour, beginning of this year, and I turned up at work and he's there fixing one of our planar thicknesses, and he goes, "Oh, so you're in a band, do you?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "What's your band called?" I was like, "Those Damn Crows." He went, "I listen to them all the time on Planet Rock. You're not in that band." I was like, "I am." "No, you can't be." I was like, "I am." So I had to get my phone out and go, "See, that's me."
Yeah,
That's me.
brilliant.
Yeah, get that phone up. I did see a girl in a hoodie in the gym before. She was on the treadmill in front of me, and I was just behind her. I was like, I wonder if she realizes I'm watching her on the treadmill.
Oh.
In a non-pervy fashion, I'll have you know.
I'm glad you added that.
Yeah.
Glad you added that.
Well, no, if somebody's wearing your hoodie, you're going to be looking at them, aren't you?
I up in MacArthur Glen, the outlet store. I went up there with my daughter, and she wanted to buy something, and somebody kind of recognized me and was like, "Oh, the band's doing really well." I'm like, "Yeah, it's doing. Thanks so much. Oh, I bought your album. This album's superb. Oh, thank you so much." And then we walked like 5 meters down the road, and you get police up there, don't you? The patrol.
Yeah.
And there was two. There was a guy and a woman, and they came over to me, and my daughter was like, "What's going on?" And the policewoman said, "Your album's insane. It's brilliant. I love it." But my daughter was like, "Whoa, what are the police coming over for?" But she just wanted to tell me the album was awesome, which was really cool. Like in large places like that, yeah, all the time. And I have heard someone play our tunes at the traffic lights. I pulled up a traffic light and somebody was playing our music next to it.
We got turn that shit off.
Yeah. No, it's really cool.
It is a good feeling, man.
A really cool feeling was, do you remember we went to watch Blackstone Cherry, Monster Truck, and Cadillac 3 when they were doing that tour? And we'd gone in. There was no like VIP or anything. We went in. We were having a few beers, and you were just seeing how many fucking CROWS t-shirts were there. That was the. Whenever that tour was, I know all our heads were kind of like, "Wow!" Do you know what I mean? The place was filling up, and it was fucking hundreds of CROWS t-shirts. That's why we were a bit blown away by that, like, you know.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, man.
There was loads.
There was, it wasn't like, "Oh, look, there's 2 Crow t-shirts. That's amazing." It was actually all pumping in, wasn't it? It was like, Jesus Christ, like, so. Yeah, that was a bit overwhelming and a great moment when we could see like the band was doing well, like, you know.
Yep, amazing.
Have we got a winner?
I think we have. Very, very quick. This was. So the lyrics were, "I see the way you look at me," and the answer was "rolling those eyes." And the winner is. Can you kit on? Do me a drum roll.
I'll do that next week. Yeah, it was. And then I ripped my earbud out. Yeah.
The winner is Natalie Seddon.
Hey, well done, Natalie.
Congratulations, lovely. If you send us your address and stuff, we'll pass it on to the lovely Tanith Chown, and that necklace will wing its way over to you, not the cat. Well done, Natalie.
But you can have the cat if you ask. That's twice though. The cat.
Do we know if
I am
convinced.
I am interested as to whose cat that is, if it's Tanya's cat or not.
Yeah,
Either
that's what I
answer.
was going to ask. Is it,
Yeah,
is
or
it
if it's just a generic cat, like.
yeah.
Shed some
Find out.
light, Tanya.
Tanya, if you're watching, let us know. Is that your cat, or you just nicked that from the internet? Because it looks pretty.
Yeah,
Cat.
we need Perry Mason on the case for that one.
Okay. Rob Evans' comments.
Cat's dead. Oh, never.
Oh man. Right, questions, eh?
Let's have a question, bud.
Yes.
This is from Myrie McIntosh. Any pre-gig superstitions or rituals? After hearing some of your hilarious stories on CrowCast, I would love to see a fly-on-the-wall type videos diary of you guys on tour. Is this something you would consider? Well, to start with the rituals or the sort of superstition thing, I think we all have our own little quirks, don't we? Of routine before we go on and play. Dave tends to just go missing, doesn't he? But
No,
You know when he's going, don't you? He's off to get his bottle of wine and his
Get
fucking
wine.
Red Bull.
Yeah, that's my little ritual before I go on. I got to have a wine and a Red Bull. Just
kind of developed a different one on every tour that we've done, to be honest. But they've never really carried over onto the next one. Do you know what I mean? So it's just always kind of like one per tour. Like the first tour we did, I just needed to visit the toilet. I don't know why. I don't get nervous. I just needed to use the little boys' room. Like
I can't remember what tour it was, but I wore the same shorts. I just wouldn't. Do you remember? Because I said to you, Shane, because it's an old football thing. I felt like I was on form. And when you're on form, it's a weird thing. Like certain footballers, when they're on form, they do everything the same. So my prep before every match, as I call every show, was exactly the same. Even like I just wore the same shorts, same socks. I know it's really bad. I was spraying them with Febreze because I was just petrified. No, you know what I mean? You're petrified of breaking that vibe. And even, I can't remember what tour it was, but even after so many songs, I was taking the jacket off because that was part of the routine, like, so until we got to like, I can't remember what show it was, but then I like dropped the clanger and then I went, right, that's fucking it now. But I still wore the same shorts. I don't know, it's just a weird, you do pick up little things.
Yeah. I know the boys like will know when we're close to stage time when they hear me doing my sort of vocal warm up. I do all that, and you always hear the boys then, whether it be Dave or Lloyd, like imitating me.
Yeah, it's usually me.
Yeah, may I add, very badly though.
Yeah, very badly.
But
Whoa!
there we go. Yeah, I tend to disappear as well and just find a little quiet place area just to focus and get into my that headspace. And then we kind of, if it's a big gig, an important gig, or as a big audience, we kind of have a little huddle, don't we? We say, here we go, like, and focus and be in the moment and enjoy it and blah blah blah. I remember the last couple of times we've had really big shows, and I've tried to do the whole right, boys, get composure and all that, and enjoy it, but be composed. And then I've gone out and fall off on the stage or something in the first, and it all goes tits up. But it's that moment just before you're going on stage. It's like terrifying.
I love it.
At the same time. It's such a buzz. Such a buzz.
It's trying to control the adrenaline for me, because I'm so excited.
You always end up dancing, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, if it's the right band on before, or we're starting to choose tracks because we're getting the option, we can do that. So we start choosing tracks to get in the mood. I got this habit of pacing as well, almost like a fighter. I just kind of up and down pacing, just kind of going through it in my head of like, don't fucking come out and be like, you know what I mean? It's just that whole, I don't know, just getting yourself in the right position, isn't it? Like, and we're lucky now because the position we're in, we're getting more space, as Shane said, so you're getting to do more what you'd like to do, you know? So, I mean, we always say, man, I think we said on other CrowCasts, when the day comes where we can have a jam room, that'll be fucking superb, that will. That's what I can't wait for, is where we can have like equipment set up in a room so we can jam throughout the day and kind of just do like covers or having a little, you know what I mean? Just whatever, like, and having maybe a jam with the text and stuff, and just having a bit of fun, like, basically, innit? So, but I think that hour before we go on will always be bang, here we go, it's game time, like, you know?
I always like to just do some warm-ups on my neck and like, things like this, and we'll rotate their cuffs and then go, caw, let's fly.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But about the fly on the wall thing, I mean, we were talking about that the other day, when we Shane, about documenting more. There's a few things we're hoping to do with, like, Phil boy. So yeah, watch your space yet again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a strange one, because you know, the people that our team, so to speak, then, right? So management, our sound guys, our crew, our team is going bigger. And what I've kind of asked is, like, in the last 10 to 15 minutes before we go on stage, like, everybody except the CROWS in that room, just so we have that focus about what we're gonna do, and just getting that moment, like Ronnie said, getting that edge, like, we're up for this, because that's quite difficult when someone's talking about other stuff, you know, or you can, not that we wouldn't have a bad show of it, but it's just good to be in that mindset, and you know, ready, like, it's just us now, we're on stage, and so that's kind of another thing that we always ask for, at least 15 minutes before we go on. It's just us 5 in the room.
Yeah, I would hate not to hang out with you or just to get in that mode. I couldn't just go straight on stage. I know that sounds unprofessional. It just feels a bit weird because we're like a family. The band is a unit. I'd feel weird just jumping on a stage and not seeing you all. You know what I mean? Straight out of a car, dressed, straight on the stage. I don't know. It's almost like that pre-show is almost part of it, isn't it? It's the build up, the getting excited together and seeing each other, and you know what I mean. It's it's great. It's great. That is.
It is, and when we did that video for Phil, the Go Get It video, and there's moments where, like, we always have a hug, don't we? We always, like,
Yeah.
and stuff. And then the little things, like, I spun my microphone, Ronnie spinning his drumsticks, and you're not conscious you're doing it. You're just going through the motions before you jump on stage. But it was lovely to look back and go, that's kind of cool, like, what we do. Because you
captured that great, man. A lot of solidarity in that footage.
Yeah, you did. Fair play.
Yeah, Phil did a bang up job there. I wasn't even conscious of it. That's what I mean. Phil was great though, because he was there and he wasn't. If that makes sense. So he's very clever. I think because he's been around and he knows bands and he knows how to live with bands. He was just really clever. So he obviously got some organic moments for the CrowFamily that we didn't have to put on, like, you know, just shimmies or little movements, or like you said, there's always a hug, like, you know, it's always I think it's just important. I think to be honest, I've had it more in this band than any other band, and I think that's why we're doing so well, is because we are extremely focused on what we do together rather than individually, like, you know, we're always kind of looking at each other's parts as well as our own.
The thing is, man, when we're on our stage, we're up there together, and we got to become one.
Yeah,
100%.
You know.
Yeah, you've got to be literally in sync with one another. Yeah.
It's a team. You move as one. You think as one.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Shane?
Man.
Any sort of because I can see people over there that they want to know any sort of pre-gig rituals.
Mine. But mine's quite simple. A couple of fags, a cup of tea,
and paper.
Yeah, throw a bit of paper, just a little bit of me time, and then point me to the stage.
You stretch your ankles a little bit. Twiddle your ankles a bit.
Yeah, stretch my ankles.
Yeah, we all do that, don't we? We have little stretches and stuff.
You got to, man. Like, I have to, and a warm down is so key. Like, sometimes, like slow, like, especially when you're moshing. Fucking hell. Then try doing that every night without warming up or warming down. Oh Christ.
Yeah, I've got to stretch like
Well,
my
you know,
hamstrings and stuff and my calves because like the amount of where I go up on speakers and all that, I'll put on hamstring or something.
I absolutely adore having a shower after the show.
Me too.
That's
Yeah.
it's just
But
it's just the right time.
you know what you know what we forgot to do?
So
The fucking the pre-gig selfie.
yes, of course.
Yeah, that is the ritual.
That's what
really.
that's what we always do. Yeah.
But yet again, that's something you
Yeah.
started. That is Shane. That's just like that was like, come on, boys. Because sometimes I got to admit, I've been there going, oh fucking hell, come on. You know what I mean? But it has turned out this. Yeah.
It just gives like I can imagine like the crowd. Well, I've seen it. We've all seen
They're coming.
Yeah, giving them something. Oh, it won't be long. There's the selfie. Oh, it's not going to be long now. And it's almost like it gets them into the spirit. They always do like a funny one to me. We always do like a funny photo and stuff. And it just sets it up. I just think it's a really great and positive thing. Like,
I'll never forget when we played the Patriot that one year, and you had that the Santa Claus, like it was like a mask with the glasses.
yeah.
It was amazing, man.
Well, all those pre-gig selfies are in the calendar. If you want to go over to the web store and buy a calendar. See what
Where were we? Where were we? The Sugar Mill in Stoke.
Shameless.
We were all in the shower. The shower gel, like.
Yeah, that was one of the best ones.
Yeah, man.
Where was that? I think that was on
Sugar Mill, Stoke.
Stoke, was it?
Stoke-on-Trent, yeah.
Very cool. Loved it.
Oh,
Cool.
Great question.
Do you want to do a pass it forward, Shane?
Yes. Let me share my screen. There we go. Sharing it.
We won't be long, guys, and we're going to be having Paul Anthony on as well.
Very marvelous. Can you see that, boys?
no.
Yep, there it is.
Here we go.
Oh, I can.
Okay, so this is a pass it forward. This is a choice now, a Reaper tea or a CrowCast tea. They've been very popular, so here's your chance. Spin the wheel.
I think the wheel needs some oil.
The winner is Colette Feeney. Congratulations, Colette. If you get in touch, lovely, you can have a choice of a Reaper t-shirt or a CrowCast t-shirt. That's off one of your fellow Crow family who's paid for it for you and passing it forward. Thank you so much, guys. It's incredible, as always.
Dave, before your internet dips out, buddy, it's that time.
David, did you know?
Dave-o!
Oh, no.
Hello.
Is he there?
What,
Did
Dave?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
David, did you know?
Hello. How are you missed? My internet's just been frozen for the last sort of 5 minutes. So
All right.
I missed everything.
It's this, mate.
All right.
David, did you know?
All right.
All right, cool.
Did you know? Was David's Did you know?
Did you know? Oh, he's got a. Oh, here we go.
So-
Car's out, ready, Dave?
I've been working on a song. All right. Give me the fact. What is the fact? Tell me the fact. It's bollocks time. Give me the fact. Tell me the fact. What is the fact? It's bollocks time. Bollocks time. Bollocks time.
I bet he's nicked your song.
Oh, my lawyers are going to be in touch. My lawyers are going to be in touch. That's a fucking disgrace. Nick my song. Unbelievable. Very catchy, Dave.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, no. I was only joking, Dave. I'm not bringing him. I won't phone the lawyers. I'm joking. Well,
Yeah,
Well, there we are then.
Well, that was worth the wait, wasn't it?
well, it really
that was
was.
worth. That was a great fact. That was. I
think
love
this is
that.
like the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah. But you know what? The fact was probably true.
He's back.
Yes.
No.
What
Is
have you got
he?
for us?
So can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Right. So I hope you like the song.
Let's get you on. No.
Go,
I
Dave.
fucking give up.
See the
Go,
fact.
Dave.
Signal shit.
Just see the fact.
Just see the fact, Dave. Nope. Yeah.
No, David has broke the internet.
Yeah. Maybe we can move. I don't know what you're doing, Dave. There we are. Say the fact.
My signal keeps dropping out, so I'm not even going to bother saying anything.
That is a fact then.
The fact
Well,
is, this one's for you, Lloyd, right?
Okay.
The roller coaster was invented in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is that it?
We can still hear you, Dave. You're just having a break between sentences by the look of it. Is that it, Dave? Well, that was a good fact.
I
That was a
hope it
good
is.
fact.
I hope it is. It's the suspense of it, isn't it? The roller coaster was
Yeah.
invented in the Middle Ages. Stop.
I go, what
Yeah.
was the first roller coaster I went to, Dave?
In the Middle Ages. Okay.
Yeah. You're still blinking and that, Dave. You've just stopped talking. Just your mouth has stopped moving.
Does
You're
anybody know
breathing.
sign language?
Yeah.
David.
David. David. Yeah. We can still hear him. I don't know if you can hear him breathing and stuff. You can hear him sighing.
Phone it in, Dave. Phone it in.
Never mind. Well, there we are.
All right. That's a shame.
All right.
Anyway, so roller coasters were made in the what? Medieval time.
In the Middle Ages.
Middle
In
Ages.
the Middle Ages, apparently.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is everyone's finding it absolutely hilarious. Which, honestly, we haven't
So-
rehearsed that. Oh my God, I'm
You-
crying. I'm crying. Is that it? I'm crying. No,
It's live TV.
yeah. It's live. Absolutely live.
Emma Ashcroft, she apparently I'm gone. Yeah, so's Dave.
This is golden. It's golden. The beautiful thing is we all come on early and test everything. Dave comes on and goes, right, is that good? Is that me done? Yeah, wicked. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
I'm gone. So's Dave.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Let's do another lyric game.
Yes, let's cheer everybody up and give something away.
Full bollocks time. Tell me the lyric. Give me the lyric. What's the next lyric? It's lyric time. Tell me the lyric. Give me the lyric. What's the next lyric? It's lyric time. What's the next line? What's the next line? What's the next line? So, the next lyric is from a song called. First lyric is I can't think straight. What's the lyric that follows? I can't think straight.
Ooh, it's a tricky one there.
It is.
Really tricky.
There we are. If you're looking for there.
And the winner of this, sorry, we didn't say what the prize was. Last week, we had someone, a photographer, get in touch that had the Monster Fest montage of us. We tried to get hold of the person that won, but there's been no luck. So it's back up. So your chance to win the Monster Fest photo. I can see Ronnie there is looking to see if you got it. There it is.
I had the
There's
wrong
the
one
montage.
queued up. Sorry,
Crow.
son.
Crow montage. So this is back up now for winning again. just tell us the lyric.
Oh,
What's the next line?
Perfect.
We got a question.
Right.
Right? Or
2 seconds, but
I was going to say, while he's doing that, Shane, shall we do a pass it forward?
oh, tidy. All right then.
We could do a pass it forward, which gives Lloyd a break because obviously Dave's not here. At the
I
moment.
am. I'm ready now, boys. If you want me to ask a question, or do you want to carry on?
There we are. Yeah, we'll maybe do it at the end if you want. Lloyd, keep the questions.
Yes, cool. That's fine. Yeah.
Have we got a pass it forward ready, Shane boy?
Hang on.
Yes.
There we
What's
go.
this?
This is for a vest.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank
This
you
is
very
for
much.
a vest. You're
is.
very
Thank you,
welcome.
Thank you, bud.
This is for a vest.
So this is for all the ladies out there, unless you men want to wear a vest, a woman's vest. Hey, I don't judge. But someone's passed forward a vest. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Please be a woman. Please be a woman. Please be a woman.
I know that's what I was going to say. It's going to be a man. The way the night's going.
It's a woman.
Yes!
It's Maria Jeanette.
Yes.
Congratulations, Maria. Maria. You have won a vest.
Oh, a bit of Blondie.
Get in
Oh,
touch.
super smashing great. Get in there.
Get in touch. Tell us your size, and we'll ship out a Crow vest for you. Congratulations, Maria. And that's off one of your Crow family members, passing it forward. What a bloody lovely bunch you are. Carry on.
Cool. Carry on. Have we got a
As
winner?
you were.
Yes.
Have we got a,
I think so.
we have a winner of the lyric game, yeah?
I think so. Shano, what do you reckon?
I'm having a look, brother. I'm having a look. Oh, this is tricky now because there's someone.
Check out the last one I wrote. It's always the last place you look, isn't it? Do you know, when you lost him, it's always the last place you look.
Oh,
Oh,
Dave's
look,
back.
he's back.
Hey, he's back, buddy. He's back.
Don't get me started. Am I right now? Am I right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all right. Yeah. I don't think you're ever all right, but yeah.
Well, you know what I
we
mean.
could-
My Wi-Fi, or my Ethernet.
yeah, we could hear you. See, that was what was tickling me the most. I could hear you huffing
So-
and puffing, and
So did you hear
Yeah.
the song?
Yes.
That's the main thing. That's
You
the main
robbing
thing.
bastard.
That's the main thing.
yeah, yes.
Disgrace. You couldn't even come up with your own song.
We're on about 3 segments away from yours now, unfortunately.
That's all right. No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You saved my bacon there.
Quite
I
a lot of
saved your
bollocks.
bacon.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so I think, Lloyd, I'm going to have to go against you there and go
Okay.
with who we have.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's why they're there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're going to go with, so let me tell you the lyric. The lyric was, I see the way you look at me, rolling those eyes. The chance to win that montage from Monster Fest. The winner is Simon Houghton. Or Houghton, sorry. Simon Houghton. Simon Houghton, congratulations, bud. You have won the Crow picture. Get in touch, send us your address, and we'll get that out to you. We'll pass it on to Alan.
Awesome. Dave, do you want one last go, son, before we say ta-ra to Shiner? And we welcome in our guest. Would you like one last go?
What am I? Did you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know a bit about this.
I think
Yeah, you
David,
left us all
Did you
unfinished.
know?
I've already done the song, so let's forget that bit. Right. This is
My
for you,
song,
Lloyd. This is for you, Lloyd.
Thank you.
The roller coaster was invented in the Middle Ages as a means of chucking stuff across rivers.
Was it really?
Well, this is the thing. It was it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's a place. Yeah.
Bit of a fucking dodgy roller coaster, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But, you can imagine We're getting stuff across rivers, basically. That's what. That's.
They didn't think they use a boat, did they? Or...
Back in, was it?
or build a bridge, maybe, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you don't have to have a boat constantly going.
A lot less people would get hurt, like.
So sorry. So sorry. We need to go back. I just realized a lot of people are saying they're the wrong lyrics. They're right. They're right. I did the first ones again.
Hey.
The second one was, this was from the song Fear of the Broken. I can't think straight. But did I do the first one, boys? What have I done here?
No, what you've had is right. What you sent me, I've written down.
Oh, no.
It's all gone tits up, boys. It's all gone tits up.
Hang on. This is incredible. This has never happened before. No, it is right. It's just I said it wrong. So it was the right song. I can't think straight. And I have the words, but the words kind of escape my mouth. That was from Fear the Broken. Yeah, sorry, everybody.
Very apt, that, isn't it? I can't think straight.
Yeah, clearly, it's too much of this. Oh, no. Just take my glass, boys. Oh, no.
Boys, welcome to CrowCast 13. They all reckon I'm lucky for some number 13.
Do you know what? I was
that
just going to say that tonight. We've definitely got a bit of unlucky tonight.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of saying about a catapult, Dave, not a roller coaster.
Apparently, it's a roller coaster.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
I love it. I love everybody
Like
challenging you. I do.
Like
Yeah,
a roller coaster.
I draw seeing Shane there with a towel then just reminded me of when we played the Black Heart once, and he pulled a towel out of his bag, and it was a bath towel, not a hand towel. So I decided to wrap it around my waist. Do you remember that?
I remember that, but I remember.
Spillage. I love that. Spillage.
That was a full pint of Southern Comfort.
I was like, "Whee!"
But it is definitely, definitely the show is cursed tonight, boys. On that note, Shine, do you want to? Is this where you want to nod off, mate?
Yeah, I best start, but in case something drastic goes on, isn't it?
I know. I think I do the same, but
should we all just go?
Yeah.
Oh, young but
Shiner.
It's old Kev Bigot.
What have we got for
I
a
should
Shine?
do a new graphic. Sorry, Shine, but it tickles me.
That's all I'm going to say, but right. So I've got a conclusion is the part where your brain has given up thinking. I leave you ponder with that one.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
No time fucking off.
See you next week. See you next week, buddy.
Gentlemen,
All right.
Yes.
Shine.
Be
Pleasure,
safe on the
man.
cursed episode
hang
of
on.
CrowCast 13.
Shane, you got 10 seconds left, but
I know.
Have I?
Hang
Oh,
on.
fuck up.
Right.
I'm off. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Please.
5, 4,
All right.
3,
I wait for the hour.
2.
1.
Hang
Ta-da!
on, I got 2 by end.
Yeah. And you have
Ta-ra,
got 3.
good night.
Good night. Good night, button. There we are. Fantastic. Well, can anything else go wrong? Probably. Probably.
Working on it.
But the good thing is we have a guest, boys. That is the good thing.
What's he walking
What a
into?
guest.
What a guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Anthony from Planet Rock. Hey!
Hello.
How you
How
doing?
are we, sir?
How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right. What time do you call this? Past my bedtime, for goodness sake.
It's about
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Some of us are up at the crack of dawn.
No, somebody said that on our Facebook book page today. Said about how whenever we do a Planet Rock sort of show and stuff, like one of the last to go to bed, but then you're up really early in the morning. How'd you do it?
To be honest, it's just what you do. It's like when you get the gigs all the time, as I do, you can't you can't do a show and talk and enthuse about bands unless you've seen them. And obviously gigs take place in the evening. So unless you're at those gigs, you can't go on the show the next day and say, this band were great, because they might have been shit or they might have cancelled and you wouldn't know about it. So you've got to be there. And what's the saying? You've got to walk it like you talk it.
Exactly, man. You're looking really well, mate.
Well, I'm trying, apart from lockdown hair, hence the lashes. My hair's like down here now. It's,
I was going to say, how do you manage that? How do you manage to get that helmet on?
It's one of those, like, it's like really kind of,
That's a hell of a bar, that is.
Outstanding. So are you, is your ass a bit sore at the moment from that bike ride, that epic bike ride of yours?
To be honest, no. I mean, and the weird thing about this whole cycling thing is, I'm not like Wyatt. I'm not a keen cyclist. In fact, I go out occasionally. I had a new bike for Christmas. I didn't ride it till April. And when lockdown happened, living in the countryside, it was a case of, you know what, let's get out there, let's do the exercise. And I loved it. It was just like my piece of heaven, getting out into the middle of nowhere, nobody around. And I was doing quite a few miles anyway. And I've always put the truants on the show for the last 8 years, but I haven't been able to do the ride. One, because probably I wasn't fit enough. I was doing the show anyway in London, and obviously I couldn't be in 2 places at once. And then obviously Friday, straight away, I'm up to download to work backstage and do the interviews and stuff. So it was tricky to always do it. Plus the fact those guys are doing 175 miles in 3 days, which is no mean feat. So when they said, you know, why don't you do this virtually? You know, you're cycling. I said, yeah, but 175 miles. And they've gone, yeah, but it's within 12 days. You've got 12 days to do it. So I thought, well, I'll try it. But my issue was, being type 2 diabetic, I'm really good with my levels. I don't test. I only test once a year when I have my review, and everything's fine. But doing that kind of sort of energetic stuff for that period of time, I thought I'll just check my levels when I get back just to see if I can do it. And at one stage, it was down to 2.8. Now, if I was type 1, I'd probably be in hypo, which is not a good place to be. So I thought, well, there's got to be a way of doing it. So it was a case of, right, few look before I go. So it would be banana, yogurt, cereal bar, and an extra cereal bar in the pocket just in case. Came back, checked the levels, perfect. So good to go. And then once it started, apart from being something different for me, it became an obsession, because once you've got a purpose for doing it, those 4 children's charities just takes on a whole new meaning. You become obsessed with it, and you just can't do enough. It's like, well, I've only done 24 miles today. Is that enough? But when you figure, like, in 8 days, I'd done 176 of the 175, I could have quite easily stopped there because I achieved the goal. But I just kept on going. Ended up doing 266.25 in the 12 days. And it was brilliant. I loved it. And the achievement personally, let alone for the kids, was just, you know, really, really cool.
Absolutely incredible, mate.
Oh, awesome, man.
Nothing but respect for you. Absolutely incredible. We you know, put forward a bit for you. How much did you raise after, Paul?
Me personally, I think excuse me, mine was about 3,300 with gift aid. But if you look at the total of everyone taking part, the initial target was 66,666. Go figure. That was broken on day one. They reset the target to £100,000. That was broken a couple of days later. And by the time we finished it on Friday, we'd cracked the new target of 150,000. And it's still climbing. So, you know, it's just fantastic. I mean, when you consider these charities, all right, charities are big organizations and make a lot of money, hopefully. But just one example, Teenage Cancer Trust, one of the 4 charities, with lockdown, with the pandemic, just in the space of about 3 months, they've lost something like £6 million. £6 million to a charity that does all that amazing work. That is a shitload of money. So, you know, the more we can put in that pot with everybody's help, then, you know, the better.
Incredible, mate. Absolutely incredible. Fair play to you. So what were the charities, Paul? Just to remind everybody.
So Teenage Cancer Trust, Nordoff Robbins Music Therapy, Childline, and Save the Children, which is a new charity they've taken on board with this one. It was originally the 3 charities, because as well as doing the download rides, don't forget the tourists also go, say, to, like last year, Vietnam, and just cycle through Vietnam for miles. Again, raise loads of money, you know, at the same time, which is fantastic. I mean, you know, and bear in mind, a lot of these guys that are doing it, like Rod Smallwood, they're no spring chickens. I mean, Rod is mental. He did something like 300-400 miles. I mean, insane. Wow. It's just absolutely insane. But when you've got a passion, which is, you know, his vision in the first place, together with Alex, former editor of Metal Hammer, as you know, when you've got that passion and you've got that impetus to do something and make a difference, then it just changes the whole ballpark. It really does. I mean, you can cycle, you can do the miles, but then, like I said before, as soon as you get that extra incentive to do it, you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And 12 consecutive days, I was told, is no mean feat. I mean, I just did it and didn't think anything about it. Weirdly, didn't get saddle sore, didn't get achy legs. I don't know. Oh, wow. I've got puny legs anyway, so there's not a lot to ache, as you know. But yeah, it was great.
Incredible. Getting a lot of love here from everybody in the Crow family, saying what a legend you are. Incredible, but so you had to buy all the gear. That must have cost you a fortune.
No, to be honest, I actually I thought, well, when I was doing it originally, I was in baggy shorts and trainers, and obviously it's not very good for the aerodynamics. You know, when you're doing these kind of miles, and you get all that flapping about going on. And then one of the first training rides I did that I filmed on the socials, I had my sort of luminous jacket on. And I got so much stick off people, including Maiden's Management, who sent me a rather cool Trooper top that you probably saw me cycling in as well. Yeah. So I was cycling in the Trooper top. I got proper cycling leggings off eBay. I think they were about 15 quid. And the guy whose eBay shop it was found out what I was doing and also sent me another top and some fingerless gloves as well. So everybody helps each other. It's great, you know.
Yeah. Outstanding, mate. I can't fault you. Fair play to you.
Did you have any sort of airy moments, Paul, along the ride where like you may have come off the bike?
One was obviously where I am in the Shropshire countryside. It's very narrow lanes, single track lanes for the most part. Yeah. And this car overtook me when it shouldn't have done because there was something coming the other way. So it overtook me and then cut right in front of me and had to brake suddenly because of the car coming the other way. So I braked, and this newer bike I've got's got disc brakes on, so it locked the back wheel, broadsided it round, locked the back wheel up, managed to stop, didn't come off, but it actually buckled the back wheel.
Oh, really?
Not massively, but you know, just annoying because it's sort of waving around like that. So locally near to us in Audlam, which is about 5 miles away, another village where my mate Steve from FM lives, there's a little shop there called Audlam Cycle Sports. And because of the pandemic, they're only open Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they do servicing, repairs, sales, everything by appointment only. So I just dropped them a quick email saying, got a bit of a problem. I'm currently doing this ride, blah, blah, blah. If I pop in tomorrow morning, any chance you can straighten the wheel out for me? They got straight back to me and said, really sorry, we're booking into like the 30th of June now. And this was a week and a half ago. But if you get here first thing in the morning before we open, we'll do it straight away. So I went down, they did it for me within 15 minutes, didn't charge me a penny, and donated to the charity as well. So, you know, this is what I was saying about people all sticking together and helping each other. Yeah. It's fantastic, you know. The last day as well, another great story. So the last day, one of the routes I was doing of about 20 odd miles a day, I went past, it's like a roadside sort of porter cabin. It's not like the trailers you see, it's set back, it's like a permanent structure. It's just like this little cafe that you go in, get a coffee, bacon butty, and every day I cycle past, I could smell the bacon. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to wait till the last day, and I'm going to get a bacon butty en route. So I cycled up. I got about 10 miles to go. Walked in the little sort of awning and said, "Do you take contactless?" And she went, "I'm really sorry, we don't. We maybe should do, but we don't." I said, "Oh shit." She said, "Well, what's up?" I said, "Well, I've been cycling past the last sort of 12 days. I said, I'm doing this charity bike ride, blah, blah, blah." She said, "Well, it's no problem. You can drop it in next time. What's the bike ride?" So I told her. She said, "Forget that. This is on us." I said, "Oh, thank you." So I got the bacon butty. I'm eating the bacon butty outside. Next minute, this woman comes up behind me. She said, "This is from me, and this is from Nikki inside there. Gave me 2 £10 notes for the charities." Oh, cool. Never met me before, never knew until that moment what I was doing it for, and straight away the generosity just shines through. Amazing.
Incredible.
That's amazing, man.
Fair play to you, mate. So you're not aching at all.
No, seriously, I felt guilty. I did that on the Friday. Sort of came across my own little finish line. It was my eldest son's birthday, so we had a sort of distance barbecue in the garden. So had a nice drink in the barbecue. Had the day off on Saturday, but felt guilty as hell, even though I'd finished it. And then Sunday, yesterday and today, I've been out cycling, doing the same kind of miles, but without the tracking. It's like, and again, you feel weird when you're not tracking the miles because you think, oh, I might do 2 miles less or something. But I don't know. It's just a new thing that I'm kind of into, and it's great exercise. You know, I've got a knackered knee from cartilage playing football for years, and I can do cycling, and you know, it just makes me feel good. I do the show, which obviously I've been doing from home for the last 3 months. So I finish the show, go through, fuel up, get changed into the lycra, and out we go.
Wow.
Get the spandex on.
Going off subject a little bit, you mentioned your barbecues there. You know, you put up some pretty awesome pictures with you and your
Oh,
barbecue.
mate, yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That is my other passion. I just love barbecuing, and I have to say, my father-in-law, I've known him since 1986. He's from Cyprus, and he is the barbecue master. I mean, he taught me everything I know. And if you're cooking meat, now here's a tip, right? I shouldn't really be telling you this, but this is a great tip. You know, when you go to any
Hang on.
are you writing it down? When you
No.
English barbecues, and you get like, you know, anything meat-wise, straight away, the English guy with the beer likes the barbecue, the flame's there, they chuck the meat on. So you get burnt meat that's not cooked inside, and it's awful. Or they put it on, it's not hot enough, they leave it there, it's dry as a bone, and you cut into the meat. The best way to get the most succulent meat on a barbecue, I kid you not, and it is so cheap. And I went, really? As soon as your meat's sealed, whether it be chicken thighs, whether it be chicken breast, whether it be lamb or whatever, as soon as the meat is sealed, every 5 minutes or so, as it's cooking, until just before you take it off, just squeeze fresh lemon juice onto the meat. Just keep it against fresh lemon juice, or you can use the bottled lemon juice that you can get, little squirty stuff. Yeah. Use that, and I kid you not, you take the meat off, and straight away you think that meat is going to taste of lemon. It doesn't. You cut into the meat; it's as juicy as hell and absolutely gorgeous. And you don't need a lot of, obviously when you're doing stuff in the smoker, you can do all the marinades and stuff. But when you're doing stuff like that, simple meat, salt and pepper, lemon juice when it starts to cook and it's sealed. And I tell you what, you won't be disappointed.
Fantastic. There we go, Ronnie.
There we are, Ronnie. I was going to say,
all over there. Yeah.
And the message here, boys, is always keep your meat moist.
Yeah. He's in the game.
Yeah, man.
He's in the game. Yeah, I said to the boys, Paul, I've really got into barbecue, and I've always been into it. But I've always been I've done that mistake of overcooking the meat or the meat tasting like charcoal. So I've spent a lot of time lately. I think even Shane's got one now. We've got like a chimney. So you do like a chimney starter just to get the coals right as well. So there's no charcoal on the meat. Yeah. But I spent 12 hours the other day smoking a brisket, and it came out absolutely perfect.
That's one of my favourites in smoker. I've got 4 different barbecues. I've got the one that you may have seen on Sunday, which is the Cypriot barbecue, which you can have up to 3 big spits going round, or you can have little ones to do souvlaki where you get 12 little skewers going across. That's the lazy barbecue. Then I've got the Weber, which is obviously the smoker when you're doing a rack of ribs or belly pork or brisket, which again is low and slow. And again, with stuff like that, you really need to marinate it. And again, when you're doing stuff in the smoker, it's a good idea to get like a big foil tray and fill it with water underneath. So the steam then stops the meat drying out. But the ultimate in any barbecue, and this is where so many people go wrong, is using the wrong equipment. And the equipment is the charcoal. For me, I'm not a fan of briquettes. I hate gas barbecues because that's cheating. That's not barbecuing at all. You've got to use the lump wood charcoal and get the flames going and get them to the right colour. Get the flames gone. A lot of people think, it's going to go out. It's going to go out. It's got to sort of go out. It's got to glow, but it's not going to have the flames on it. And once you start cooking it, obviously keep an eye on it because sometimes you get a little flare up. Have the right tools for the trade, and then you'll do it properly. It's for me, it's just a pastime that it's escapism. When you're in the garden with the sunshine, glass of wine, glass of fizz, JD, whatever, music playing, You could be anywhere in the world. It's total escapism. And people can't believe that I don't blast out rock music when I'm doing barbecues. The reason being, because if I'm in the garden with that sunshine, with that drink, with the barbie going, I can have anything from like Greek bouzouki music to Gypsy Kings to you name it, just to create that atmosphere.
Awesome.
You know, it's just work. It's all part of the package.
Man.
You're gonna frown upon me here, but I fired up the gas barbecue last night, Paul. And it's quite funny. So the kids are there, and they're all like, "Oh, we're having a barbecue," and I was like, "Yeah." So I got this apron that says Lloydie Crow Barbecue on it, which they bought me ages ago for Christmas, and it only comes out in the summer. So I was there now, and I'd done something stupid. So I was leaning over it, trying to get the gas on and the ignition, and then all of a sudden it went.
It's like Homer Simpson or something.
Not Nate. It was like Harry from Home Alone. I went like that, and I turned around. I went to run towards the paddling pool to dip my head in, and I realised I still got hair.
Do you know what, another good tip as well? When you get into charcoal, and sometimes there's certain areas of charcoal that don't seem to be burning, so you've got some charcoal that's black, some that's ready to go. You need to get the air underneath the charcoal. So, you know, for example, you get those sort of foam mats that you kneel on when you're gardening. You see, you remember your parents doing it. I don't do gardening. So, anyway, so you get one of those and waft it, which gets the flame going underneath. That always works. And another good one, now this may sound bizarre, but it works. If you're having a problem getting the air underneath to get the flames burning properly and to burn through, get a hairdryer, underneath, so you're forcing the air, you know, like a chimney does in a house. You're forcing the air up effectively through the top, and that burns your charcoal through quicker. So if you're in a rush and you can't wait for 20-25 minutes for it to go grey and you want to do it quickly, whack on the hairdryer, but don't take it too close, otherwise you get a melted end. And there's nothing worse than a melt. But you know, it doesn't matter. You know, nobody sees it. Well, maybe some of your guests might if you've got people around, but just little tricks really you pick up along the way to, you know, as long as it works and you come out with some stunning food at the end of it, what the heck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's really rewarding. Like I said, it's something in this lockdown that I've had the time to do, and not just, you know, not just have a go at it. I've actually spent the time, like you said, Paul, put music on in the garden, embraced it, got my spritz out to spray the meat, and then it was really cool. And I hit, when anybody who cooks a brisket out there will know, sometimes you hit a stall, which was kind of scary. I couldn't get the temperature up of the meat, so you have to take it out, wrap it up in foil, and that's when you get another chance to marinate it a bit more, and then hit it on, and it reaches its maximum temperature then, like, you know. So it's just exciting. And when you take it out and it's just running with the juice, and like you said, it's not dried out, it's, you know, your meat is moist, and that's all anybody can want, like, you know.
The other nice thing
running with the juice
as well is the other nice thing with the brisket as well is a lot of people think dry rubs, if you use a dry rub, then the meat's going to be dry. It's not. Use the dry rub to marinate, like say for 24, 48 hours before. Get it out, cook it. Every now and again, after say first couple of hours, give it a wash. Get, you know, water, a bit of oil. Just give it a wash, keep it moist. You've got that tray underneath as well. And if you're using a barbecue sauce, or like we did, a Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, only put that on probably about half an hour to an hour before the end. With ribs, I would normally put that on, say, half an hour before the end and leave it open. With a brisket, I do that for a little bit and then foil it nice and tight, and then put it back on and leave it for another maybe hour with the sauce and the foil, just to finish it off. And then when it starts to fall apart, and like the last one we did a couple of weeks ago, you can just shred it as well. It's that tender.
Well, yeah, I did that, and a lot of the fans, I put a picture up on the net, and a lot of the fans said, "Oh, you've got to have the burnt ends." So I obviously,
you can,
oh, mate, I googled that, and then ended up cutting them into cubes, and then I made my own barbecue marinade, which was exciting. A few people sent me some recipes to make your own with like English mustard and tomato sauce and stuff like that, and I ended up doing those burnt ends, and they were the victory. They were the, oh my God.
Burnt ends are the best thing. And to be honest, the best burnt ends I've ever tasted. There's a couple of big barbecue places in London. And obviously being down there for 8.5 years, you get to know where to go. There's a couple down there, but the best burnt ends I've ever tasted are in the Blues Kitchen. I think they've got 3 in London. There's one on the other side of the river. There's one in Camden, and they are to die for. They do a platter, which is supposed to be a sharing platter. Yeah, right. They do burnt ends in like sauce. They do wings. They do all kinds of stuff on this platter, and it's amazing to the extent, because I don't do spicy, believe it or not. I always say, well, can you leave the wings off and put extra burnt ends on it? I remember taking the Giannani boys there one night, and we all sat around the table, and I was recommending this, and everybody had this platter. And bear in mind, I think there's 5 of us around a table. One of the guys couldn't make it, and we had 5 sharing platters, and there wasn't a morsel left anywhere. It was good. It was good. But yeah, I mean, I just love it. I wish I could do some of the stuff that you see on things like Man vs. Food, the original shows, and things like that. Because you look at that and you just salivate, and you're thinking,
it's the hot stuff I like. The hot stuff I like watching him eat. The super hot stuff. I got a thing for chilies and all that sort of thing.
No, I can't do that. I can't do the hot stuff at all.
Yeah, I love the challenge.
Well, it looks like we made everybody absolutely starving.
I know everybody is starving.
I am starving myself. I'm not going to lie.
Paul, for those who don't know as well, how did you get into music, mate? Did you start off in any bands, or did you just have a look at broadcasting, or?
No, well, it started for me. I was all set to be a joiner. The only thing I was good at was woodwork. I wanted to do all the practical stuff. I was good at woodwork, metalwork, tech drawing, art. But obviously, when you do your options, you can't do any of that. So you have to do one, and then physics and all that kind of shit. And I wasn't into that at all. I dropped so many subjects. I dropped art because they said, you've got to do this written thing. And I said, but I want to be artistic. I don't want to write history of art, because that's history. That's not art. So I ended up just basically coming out with O-level woodwork. I lived in a street in a little village called Williston in Nantwich, and I lived literally opposite Rowlandson's timber factory. So I tried to get in as a apprentice joiner. They weren't taking one on. So they said, we'll take you on as a machinist, and then we can maybe move you over later. So for 3 weeks, I did that apprenticeship, and I kid you not, I would wake up at 5 to 8 and clock on before 8 o'clock. That's how close it was. And I had a holiday booked with my parents to Pontins, where we've been before, and I was looking at the blue coats and thinking, they've got a great life. They're entertaining, socialising. All the girls want a piece of them. That's got to be a great life. So I asked, how did you become a blue coat? And they said, how old are you? I said, 16. Well, you need to be 18 and blah, blah, blah. But here's the form. Fill in the application form, and then we've got you on record anyway. So I filled in the form. I was in Southport on holiday. The following week, when I went back on the Tuesday, I got a call from the entertainment manager in Blackpool saying, we're a blue coat short. Can you come for an interview and audition? And I had to go, what's an audition? I hadn't got a clue. I had to borrow my mate's suit jacket. I remember going in a pair of mega flared Oxford bags, platform shoes, this suit jacket, none of it matched. Interviewed by 3 people, and then put on a stage with a microphone, do this, do that. Never held a microphone before in my life. And it was like, when can you start? And I'm like, so I had to hand in a week's notice, finished there on the Friday at the factory. My neighbour drove me down because my parents didn't drive, and started the next day as a Pontins blue coat. Did that for 4 summer seasons, set up a mobile disco, worked abroad, doing the same kind of thing. Always wanted to be a rock star. I had the hair, I copied all the rock stars' clobber, looked the part, but couldn't sing and couldn't play a note. So about 85, so just over 35 years ago, a local radio station set up in Stoke, Signal, about a year and a bit before. And I would go in and help the afternoon presenter, making coffee, doing the manual logging, artist, title, music publisher, record label, so everybody gets their royalties. And about 3-4 months into that, Easter Monday, before that, the boss said, I believe you're a bit of a rock fan. I went, yeah. He said, fancy doing a rock show on Easter Monday for 3 hours? And I went, yeah. So that was it. Easter Monday 1985, just literally going with my record collection, just literally the airwaves to do whatever you want, play whatever you want. I set up 2 interviews, I remember, with Mama's Boys and Witchfind. And that was it. Never looked back. And like I said, that was 35 years ago. This Easter just gone. So did that for a number of years, and then rock kind of dipped a bit, as we know, with grunge, network shows, that kind of thing. In fact, you were saying before, and I was listening when you were talking about, have you ever been past the car where somebody was, playing your song? I'd had a similar situation where when my show was networked and it was played out on tape, on reel-to-reel, on quarter-inch tape, that's how long it was. I was doing a gig in London, and I was driving down the motorway, and I was stuck in traffic on the M6. Go figure. So I'm sitting there in traffic, gorgeous hot summer's day, and the car next to me was playing the same song. So he's listening to my show, which was going out at that time. So, when you see somebody sing along to a song and you're singing along or drumming along to exactly the same song, which is cool because they'll listen to the same thing. But what I did, I went a step further. This guy completely freaked because when it came to the link, because I'd recorded the show and I knew what I said in that link, I actually mined pretty much word for word what I said in the link. And he's like, couldn't believe it. Just completely freaked him out.
That freaked him out.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
But the same journey, what freaked me out the most was I'm traveling down. The news came on, and it was IRN in those days, so it was like national news. IRN came on, and the show started. I thought, shit. The technical operator who was playing it in had put on hour 2 first. Yeah. And the more he tried to rectify it, so obviously he's got to spool off a tape, he's got to play a record while he puts the other tape on. So he had to leg it upstairs to find something under my desk. Comes down, puts that record on, spools the other tape on, puts that on, and that song I played then 2 songs later in the show on the tape. And it just got from bad to worse. It's really, really, oh God. But yeah, there's some weird ones like that. I remember another tape show as well when it was at Planet Rock when I first started, and I'd come home at the weekends. The Saturday show is recorded, and I went into a shop to buy some car oil. So it was like a car supply shop. So I go in, and over the tannoy, playing in this massive warehouse, was this AC/DC track, and I'm thinking, I'm sure that's the track I'm playing on the show, because it was an album track that probably wouldn't get played that often. Yeah. Anyway, so go to the counter, start to order what I wanted. Next minute, my voice comes on, back announcing the track, and this guy went. He's looking to see. He just couldn't get his head around that I was there, but I was there as well. It was like, again, another spooky.
Are the shows generally live now on Planet Rock, or is it tend to be a mixture of the two?
No, it's always live. I mean, evenings and weekends pretty much are pre-rected, with the exception of Murray and people like that, because obviously there's busy times and certain shows need certain production to make them work. So yeah, I mean, everybody knows Alice is syndicated, but obviously he does a lot of personal stuff for us as well. But it's just a great environment, great to work, and I mean, since I've been doing the show here at home, it's just been fantastic. I mean, I get an extra hour and a half in bed. Yeah. And it's really, really good. I mean, the beauty of radio is it's like you conjure up an image, you're painting that picture. So the fact I'm sitting in my office just down here doing the show is irrelevant, really, as long as you have the sound quality right. I mean, I could do it. It could be echoey because all the floors here are echoey because they're wooden floors. But from day one, I made sure that the sound was right in terms of the first show. I don't really saw the socials. I was sitting inside my wardrobe in the guest room, right up against the clothing. The door sort of closed to my side, pillows and everything. It was great sound, but it sitting on a footstool, a foot off the floor, was killing my back. So down into the office, it was a case of putting a duvet over the exercise bike and onto the floor, and then a cardboard box on the desk with pillows inside it, pillows up the wall in the void between the unit, just to get the sound right. Whereas now, as time's gone on, I've now got a nice shaggy rug on the floor. I've got one of those proper mic screens to go around. I've put some sound baffling foam in the void, which I've covered with rock t-shirts, which look rather cool as part of the wall. So yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, and hopefully it sounds all right.
That's wicked. So how long have you been at Planet Rock now?
Planet Rock coming up to 9 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
And has there been
it's,
anyone sort of that, obviously, as you said, you're a big sort of rock fan. Is there anybody that you were hoping to sort of interview and then you finally did? And then did they meet your expectations and stuff? And
to be honest, I've been really lucky because from day one, when I started doing it, there was very few outlets for rock. MTV wasn't really up and running. I think when I first started, VH1, none of that. There was the Radio 1 rock show with Tommy Vance on a Friday night, Alan Freeman on Radio 1. And then there was probably about half a dozen regional rock shows like I was doing. There was Tom Russell in Glasgow. There was John Slater in Birmingham, Brian Pithers in Reading, Chris Tetley in Manchester. People are probably recognising some of these names if you live in certain regions. They were the only shows where rock had an outlet. So, for example, if I phoned EMI and said, I want to interview whatever big band, they'd arrange it. They'd send you train tickets. You go down to London, you do the interview. There'd be a party. Record companies had budgets like you wouldn't believe in those days. So they would accommodate you because you were giving them half an hour's airtime on the show to do that. So I was lucky enough to do so many great interviews then, and also the last few years as well. But I always remember, obviously, the Phil Lynott thing, being the massive Lizzie fan, my all-time favourite band. When I first started, I would phone Lizzie's tour manager and mither to do the interview. And he's like, well, he's got nothing to promote. He's got and I just kept bugging him. And eventually he just, look, come down. I'll take you to his house. You can have a chat. And, as it sadly turned out to be the last radio interview he did, which was pretty surreal when you get into a band early on, you become a huge fan, you meet them as a fan, a couple of times. In fact, there's one of the photographs here that when I first met them, that was 1980, and there's another one over there from 79 when I met them. And they were just so cool. And to sort of become friends with the likes of Scott and Darren and the guys over the years, when you've been a fan years before, it's really cool. And I've been really lucky. I mean, there's so many. I don't think there's anybody really that I haven't interviewed that I really wanted to interview. I keep saying that I'm going to write a book one day, and when I do, I'm not one of these people that will diss these people I've interviewed and go for the a lot of people when they write autobiographies, they go for the jugular, they go for some shock horror story to sell the book. I'd never do that. For me, it's all about mutual respect. When you're chatting to a band, for me, let them talk. Like when we've chatted at various things, like when we did the reveal at Download last year for Winter's End, that kind of thing. The idea is to, for me, throw a subject, throw a prompt, and just have a 2-3 way chat and just talk, listen to what they're saying, feed off what they're saying, as opposed to having a list of questions that a producer's given you because you actually don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing worse than that. Because I've seen before now where somebody has had a list of questions, they've gone into an interview and they've gone, right, I would like to ask you this. And they've asked the first question. And instead of listening to what that person is saying to them and feeding off that, they're looking and not listening to what their next questions are. And what's happened is that artist has answered the first probably 3 or 4 questions, but they haven't heard it. So then they've got to question 2, which is already answered. Feed off your guest and have fun with it. For me, the scary bit is being like now on the other side of the fence. I mean, I was interviewed by Mads, Mads from Denim and Leather blog. Yeah. She interviewed me at Rambling Man last year. I was shitting myself being into it because it's being on the other side of the fence. It's not a comfort zone for me. I'm okay on the other side doing what I do because I've done it for so long and I feel comfortable with it. But when it roots on the other foot, it's like,
Yeah, this has been, I think the boys will agree, this has been such a strange process for us, reversing roles almost, because we started off where we wanted to connect with the Crow family, and then we thought they'll probably get sick of us talking every week, and it'd be nice to get people on, especially like yourself, John Norman we've had on, we've had Mike Exeter, we've had, do you know what I mean? The names have gone on. To hear your stories and like what it's been like adapting, because obviously, like you said, you've been working from home, so it's completely different environments, and obviously it's strange, isn't it, boys, being the ones asking the questions now or doing this every week, so
it is really, but it's almost fascinating, like finding out how people are coping, and you always find a way, don't you? I mean, Planet Rock, huge radio station, they find a way, everybody does, and that's the common ground here, is everybody's finding a new way of doing things.
I think the thing is as well, I mean, I say on air so many times that we've had between us so many emails, texts, tweets, people saying, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. You know, you've kept us sane during these difficult times. Thanks for this, thanks for that. But I said all the time, without an audience, we're nothing. You know, we can't possibly do what we do without somebody listening. And if the people aren't there, then, you know, we don't have a radio station. And it is like the family. I mean, you've heard me when I introduce you guys at, say, Winter's End or Planet Rockstock, I refer to people as the Planet Rock family, because that's what it's like. As soon as you arrive at Rockstock, you know everybody, and everybody knows everybody else. And if they don't, within a couple of minutes, they've been to the same gig as that person. They've got something in common straight away. Definitely. And it is so relatable. And the difference with what we do compared to, say, other radio stations is that me, Darren, Wyatt, Bernard, whoever, when we're at one of our events, we're just one of the crowd. All right. The difference is, like I say, when people say, "Oh yeah, but you're," no, I'm a fan the same as you. The only difference between me and you is that I play music for 4 hours a day and talk shit in between. That is the only difference. You know, so we're all on the same level. And for me, the beauty of it, I love introducing the bands. I love interviewing the bands. But what I love the most is once I've introduced the band and you go into the crowd and you're chatting to your audience, because they tell you everything. They tell you what they like. They tell you what they don't like. They tell you how much they appreciate what we do. And it makes it so worthwhile. You know, and when you go to like the little disabled platform and you chat to the guys there, because obviously they're not as mobile as the rest of the crowd. When you go and spend time chatting to those guys and some of the stories they tell you, how much you help them, it just makes it so worthwhile. You know, I've said many times on the show that, you know, what I do isn't a job. It's a joy. The day it becomes a job to me is the day I pack it in, because like you guys in the band, all right, it's nice to make a bit of money out of it, but ultimately you do it because you love what you do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Exactly that, mate. We got some great questions here on the side. Lloyd, have you got any questions for Paul? Or because there's a few here on the side that people are asking him, but I don't know if you had any, Lloyd. Did you?
Hang on, boys. My kids have decided to walk through the dining room where I'm sat into the kitchen, and they're making so much noise. So I've had my mic on mute. So I apologise, everybody, if you can hear "ma'am."
No, we can't hear nothing
but
shall I Oliver me, Shane?
yes, that's what I was thinking, Ron.
Yeah, there we go. Let me just mute you over there, Lloyd.
So Oliver me, question for Paul. Out of the musicians sadly no longer with us, who would you have most wanted to interview? Someone you haven't already interviewed.
Sadly no longer with us. Hendrix obviously would be pretty cool. Yeah. God, there's so many, isn't there? Probably Hendrix for me is probably the ultimate. I think that you know, when you look back on some of those iconic people from years ago, you think, wow, how cool would it be to have been around? I mean, I play a few clips on the Planet Rock years of Hendrix. I mean, he just seems so out there and so cool that you think, yeah, that would have been so good to do. But obviously, a lot of it was before my time. I was lucky enough to interview a lot of the sort of iconic bands over the years, like the Stones and bands like that. But yeah, it's tricky really, because obviously you start at a certain time. For me, I was lucky to start in the 80s, and let's be fair, the 80s had some amazing bands, and you know, some of those bands still around now. And to be around and to kind of start off when that was all happening was just a joy, really. And then to carry that through, and now to see a lot of those bands still doing it, or sort of coming round, as a lot of it come full circle. You know, I mean, looking at, you know, for example, Def Leppard. I remember when I did that live Facebook thing with Joe on the big anniversary of Hysteria a couple of years ago. I remember seeing Def Leppard in front of about 13 people at the Tower Ballroom in Oldham. And then years later, you know, you see this band become, you know, the biggest thing since sliced bread. It's always nice as well to get involved in bands at early stages, because again, going back to those early days, I remember playing this new band called Bon Jovi. You had seen supporting Kiss, and I kept saying to my boss, this band are going to be massive, and he was like, Bon who? Bon what? So I was trying to get them on daytime radio, and he was like, nah, no chance, not a chance. And then when they did become massive, you know, and they playlisted everything they ever did, you know, occasionally I'd see him now and I'd go, Bon who, John? Bon what?
Yeah.
It's nice when you.
But going back to Def Leppard, so there was 13 people in the audience. That's incredible. Did you look at them and think, "Wow, these have got something," or was it a case of, they'll grow anew type of thing? Did you know?
Not really, no, not at that stage. I mean, there's quite a few bands like that. I mean, I was invited to, like I was saying about record companies, I was invited to one of the first 3 UK shows of Guns N' Roses at the Marquee years ago.
Oh, all right, yeah.
And to say that was car crash would be an understatement. Everybody in the crowd, most of which were, in the business, were all like, "Oh shit!"
Slash talks a lot about those gigs in his book. I don't know if you've read his book.
Yeah. I mean, but it's true. I mean, they were just car crash, and everybody said not a chance. They haven't got a cat in hell's chance of making it. And when it first came out, the album, it stiffed big time, absolutely stiffed. But they were very clever the way they did it, because they did 3 shows, but they left a huge gap between, I think, show 2 and show 3, so that the reviews in Sounds and NME could then come out. So it created a bit more hype for people to maybe go and see him at the 3rd gig. But Axl being Axl, even in those days, apparently, I think the story is, I'm not sure it was Sounds, but there was a really shit review in one of the music mags, and he actually went round to the offices to find the journalist to punch his lights out. It was like, he was always kind of that kind of person, even back in those days. But yeah, I mean, it didn't.
That wasn't Mick Wall, was it?
I can't remember who it was. It might have been. It might have been Mick Wall, but it might have been
Mick Wall at Kerrang, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was pre-Kerrang. I mean, that was oh no, it was pre-Kerrang. I tell the lie. No, it was. But it was early days. It was one of the paper press, I think, more so than Kerrang. But yeah, it wasn't a good scene, shall we say, and everybody said no, it wouldn't happen. And like I said, the album came out and it didn't work, and then they employed a publicist called Arlette Variki, who was just brilliant. What she would do is she'd come up with a story that was a nothing story, but she'd get it in the tabloids, on the gossip pages of the tabloids. So for argument's sake, a nothing story. So let's say Slash woke up in the morning and he farted. There's no story there. But she would turn that story into a shock horror story that the press would run day after day after day. So Guns N' Roses were in the national press day after day after day. And that kind of got people going, oh, let's check this band out. So that the actual publicist side really worked.
Clever, isn't it?
Yeah, it is clever.
Wasn't it something crazy that they were about to get dropped? And then the A&R managed to get them a really, really early morning slot at 2 a.m. over in LA on the radio, and something happened where it just exploded and it melted the switchboard by the amount of people phoning in requesting it.
Yeah, there's loads of stories like that. I mean, American radio at that stage wasn't as formatted as it is now, whereby if a presenter wanted to play a track, he picked it up on the underground or on a demo cassette, he would play that track. No matter what the quality was like, he would play it and he would champion it, which is, we still do to a certain extent, like you guys, we picked up on you early on and we thought, yeah, this band has something, and we got behind it. New rock, playlist, daytime stuff. And you've seen straight away how that has grown, from what you started out in a couple of years to what you've achieved already, to doing the Winter's End, to the chart position. Hard work pays off, and it only takes, a few people to actually take note and do something with it and run with it. And you have the quality to back it up. And that's how you break bands. And that is, fingers crossed, how it should be done the right way. Forget the X Factor, forget all this, manufactured stuff. You guys, are doing it the real way from the ground up, because there's no bullshit there. And you've gone from, the toilet playing 4 or 5 people, just working up and working up and working up. And now you're starting to see the dividends. So all power to you.
Thank
we
you.
Definitely play some toilets.
Yeah, some of the worst pilots there. Remember that, Ron?
Oh man, that was a grim moment, Paul. I hadn't been in a band for a while, and I kind of got back into it with the boys, and we were doing all right there was a great fan base. And it was at that point where I was changing in a toilet and I stepped in piss just before I was about to get on stage. I don't play with shoes. So because we were changing in a cubicle and I just stepped in piss, and it was just a dark moment. It was but as soon as we hit the stage, the place was packed. And that's rock and roll, isn't it? You forget everything that's just happened, and it's all about that moment and living in that moment. But genuinely, I looked at the boys. There was almost a tear in my eye, going, "Fucking how long, man? How long are we changing?" And we were trying to be pro rather than just going on stage, because a lot of bands just go, "Well, I just wear what I want. I just go on stage and I just put a t-shirt on." That's cool, but we wanted to look a little bit more uniformed, a little bit more sharper. I don't know, just step up the level, and yeah, that's great when you've got a dressing room, not a cubicle that we're all
No,
sharing.
the fucking cubicle covered in piss and graffiti.
I was impressed before. I was impressed before when you were saying, I like nothing better when I come off stage than having a hot shower. I'm thinking, shit, you have
Yeah,
gone
man.
up in the world. You have dressing rooms with showers?
Yes, mate. Yeah,
That's the first thing I do now is ask our TM, right, when we get to the venue, where's the shower? It is the first thing I do. Where's the shower? Get the venue rep, get him working.
Got another question by you before it slips away.
Oh yeah, Ian Court. Paul, what band you most regret not seeing live before they split up?
Not so much before they split up, but I also regret, and again, I said this a few times on the show, I also regret not seeing Rory Gallagher. I was so gutted I never got to see him live, because, you know, now when you play the stuff and you play the live stuff, you think, God, how good would it have been to see that band live. I've been lucky enough to see all my favourite bands live in their sort of original lineups, obviously the Lizzie lineups, Genesis back in the day, all those kind of bands. Status Quo, one of my early favourites when it was the original Frantic Four, just brilliant. I remember my first gig quote, Manchester Apollo. I got the last pair of tickets. I think they were £3 a ticket. We got the train to Manchester, and we were on the very back row of the Manchester Apollo. And obviously you've got the walkway behind it, and you've got like the post behind like that, and a few people on the guest list would kind of be leaning on the post, and we were in the far corner of the back row. I just remember walking in. First thing that hit me was the smell of patchouli oil, which has lived with me from that day. I just reeked of patchouli oil. And then looking at all the stacks, and obviously the speakers in those days for the PA weren't as condensed as they are now, massive PA. And it was just like, whoa. And then we looked behind, and Bob Geldof and Johnny Fingers were standing behind us. Johnny Fingers in his pajamas that he wore on stage. And we got chatting to him, and they were playing there the next night. So they were just doing a bit of a recce to suss it out. But yeah, just absolutely blown away. And the fact that Francis Rossi said fuck between every song. Welcome. So yeah, but no, brilliant. But yeah, I've been so lucky. I mean, yes, I'm in a privileged position, and I get to see so many gigs, big and small. But yeah, I've been lucky enough to be at some of the most amazing gigs. Nebworth 85, you know, Deep Purple, getting back together with the Mark II lineup, another highlight, Scorpions on that bill. It was just fantastic, really was. And again, you know, in those days, the guest area was a guest area. Everybody ligging around was in a band or in the media. So, you know, you want to chat to somebody, you know, go for it. It's fantastic. Nobody really kind of turned you down in those days.
So obviously, like going back in the day was like you said, a different time for bands and the money that was spent and stuff. Like looking at it now, do you see pros and cons and how the music industry has changed now? Or do you enjoy it more then as opposed to now, or is it just completely different? Or
music industry, yeah, is so different. I mean, it's come full circle, as you know. You know, now you've got to do the gigs and do all that kind of stuff. And sell the merch to fund making the records. Whereas in those days, unless you had a major record deal, you didn't really have a career. You know, you had the record deal, the management, the promoters would put you out on tour, and it was just such a different ball game altogether. Whereas now, bands can make it on their own, and most bands do have to make it on their own. You know, there's very few that actually get major label support, and even if you do get major label support, you don't get the money for promotion budgets, stuff like that. You know, you've got to really work it, and it is hard. It is a lot more difficult now because, like anything else in this world, you know, if people can find something for free, then they're going to take it. You know.
Yeah. So you don't get the big budgets then to go off like you did before to interview.
See, I didn't get. Well, it wasn't the radio stations that had the budgets. It was the record companies that would say, "We have this band. Can you come and do this?" With Planet Rock, most of the time, 99.9% of the bands up until recently would play live in London or would come into London to do press. So they're on your doorstep. They're always there. Whereas in those days, it was a case of we didn't have ISDN, so I couldn't sit in one studio or at home and interview somebody in a different country or a different studio. You would have to go to them, or they would have to come to you. And what a lot of record companies did, they did radio tours where they'd say, right, we'll do the Midlands today. So they'd take in, say, 6 or 7 radio stations, and they take Aussie to those various radio stations to do all their pre-recorded interviews. So yeah, it was a totally different ball game in those days. But if you wanted to sell records, and you were a major label, you did what you had to do. And they did have massive budgets. They would fly you to, I remember one, again, Deep Purple, Slaves and Masters came out, and all the regional guys said, no, I'm not going to do an interview. Awful album. Julian Turner on vocals, it was terrible. Love Conquers All or something was the lead single. It was like, no. And then they upped the ante and they said, right, we'll fly you to Germany. You can play football against the band and crew in the afternoon. We put you up in an all expenses paid hotel, the Intercontinental. We've hired a club on the Reaper Barn for the video launch and the party, this, that, and the other. And we went, oh, all right then. So, for a 20-minute interview, everybody went lock, stock, and barrel to Hamburg and had an absolute blast. So, yeah, I mean, budgets. There was nothing like a budget back in the day. You read any biography of some of these big bands, the extravagance and the wasted money is unbelievable. Listen, I'm just going to have to go and get a socket for this phone because it's going to run out in a minute. I've got about 5% battery.
That's okay, mate.
So I'm still here. I just need to go through and get a cable.
He's giving us a tour of the house.
We've got a tour of Paul Anthony's house.
That's brilliant. Exclusive.
Never happened before.
You don't see this on the radio, do you?
Paz did this, actually. From
Yeah,
Valentine.
yeah.
The only thing is, with technology, you can't plug headphones in and.
Yeah.
At the same time,
That's iPhones for you, isn't it?
Tech bloody knowledge, yeah.
Yeah.
Have we got any
So
questions?
cable fix.
There was a question on the book. Paul.
Basically says no, I can't find it by you. But what I will bring up, Paul was on about earlier, and I was a bit slow because we had a few technical problems. When he was on about his bike ride and what Rod Smallwood did, I kind of put that together just to show everybody because that's amazing. That is fair play.
Yeah,
That's a wicked top.
Yeah,
it's
man.
wicked top.
Lovely and lycra.
Was that? Did you say, Paul, that was Rod Smallwood who did that for you? Who set that up for you, or?
It's the management team. Shaki is one of my best mates. Is
Yeah.
the MD with Rod. He always gets involved in the truants as well. And I said to him, look, I need some proper gear. And Robinson's Brewery stopped making those apparently because so many people are selling them. So I said, where'd you get the top? Where'd you get the It's got a cool back as well, like the full Eddie and Charlie flavour, that kind of thing. And lo and behold, a few days later, that one came through the post that he'd found at home. He'd got a spare one that he didn't know he'd got. So yeah, he sent me that one.
Fantastic.
It's incredible.
It is.
Incredible. Well, we won't keep you too long, Paul, because you've got an early start in the morning, mate.
It's all right. I only have to stagger down the stairs, It's not...
You'd be cursing us live on air like that. Those damn crows.
Are you looking forward to getting back down the smoke, back down to the headquarters? Me and Shane were lucky enough. I don't know if the boys have been down there yet, but we visited just before Christmas, and it's pretty cool down there. Fair play.
Yeah, we've got like all the radio stations, all the national power stations, as you know, all in the one building.
Yeah.
So I think everybody misses the most, the colleagues and the banter and everything else in between. If I'm honest, I don't miss London as a city because I'm from a village. I live in a village now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the country life. I like the quiet life. Yeah. I mean, London is the music business. London is the city. That's where, it all happens, as you know. That's where, the music business always pretty much in the UK has always been. It's also nice for me to have the best of both worlds. So like when I was in London, I come home at the weekend, so I'd have this side and that side. But I've really enjoyed actually doing it at home. It's been totally different. You have a totally different mindset. let's say I get extra hour and a half in bed, which is always good. I just miss doing the gigs because obviously we can't do that at the moment, which is, the real tricky bit with everybody, because everybody wants to get out there and play.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys can't at the moment. So that's the tricky bit.
Yeah.
It is tricky. It is very tricky. But it is giving us the opportunity to just sort of come up with new songs. So like I said earlier, just gotta create something out of this negativity. Find another one.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Mr.
Can you hear us, Paul?
I can hear you now. Yeah, you just went quiet for a minute.
There we go.
Okay, we got one last question then from Derek Beecroft. Has Paul ever lost or damaged a recording from an interview that he regrets?
Am I on the same connection as?
He's on my connection, is he?
Have we gone? Have we? Can you hear us now, Paul?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Last question, everybody, and this is from Derek Beecroft. Has Paul ever lost or damaged a recording from an interview that he regrets?
No, you've gone again.
You can't bloody fault this show tonight, can you?
It's the 13th. It's the 13th.
Dum dum dum.
I tell you what, then maybe
I can hear you until I start talking, then you go.
Maybe we should leave it there then, bud. Can you hear us now? No?
He's off.
No.
You've been hanging around with Dave, you haven't you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
He's on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We can hear you now, yeah.
Can you hear me, mother?
This is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Phoenix Lights, isn't it? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Okay.
I'm on a bus.
So we'll make this the last question for the third time. Have you ever lost or damaged a recording from an interview? Nope, he's gone.
There. I'm receiving it over.
We are.
I tell you what, we might have to call this early, Paul. Can you hear us, mate?
No, I can't hear you. Whatever, if you're saying anything.
Okay.
Ah, what a shame.
We might have to leave it there.
It's all right, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
It's the dreaded
Don't
three.
resign.
He's gone. Ah,
No.
what a shame.
He didn't even say goodbye.
Well, then,
He's definitely on my school.
if you're listening, Paul, thank you so much for coming on and joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's great, that was.
Real pleasure having you on. I'll give you a text later or tomorrow morning. Paul Anthony. Hold on, Paul. Wait.
Yes, thank you very much, Paul Anthony. Well, nobody can ever say, "Oh, hang on." I think he's back in the game. He just had a clap as well. Just had a clap. Yeah, let's try him one more time.
One last time. Are you there,
Are
buddy?
we back?
Yes.
We're back.
Yeah.
We're live.
It's in a different
I
room.
just- Yeah, I just did the whole. Thank you so much, Paul Anthony. It's been a pleasure. I know you're back.
Paul, thanks for coming on, mate, and thanks for being such a great guest.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, and thanks for keeping the whole Crow thing alive, because you guys are on the cusp, as I said before. I mean, when we play you on the air and when we talk you up and when we introduce you at the gigs, we don't just say it because we're told to say it. We say it because we believe it. And like we said before, you have something special. And obviously your fan base already knows that. That fan base is getting bigger and bigger all the time. And that is down to what you're doing, your talent, the stuff you're putting out there. And the proof in the pudding was the chart entry, as I mentioned before. That is a lot of hard work that's paying off. There's still a lot of hard work to do. But as well as I do, that if you set your mind to something and you believe in something, then the sky's the limit. Just go out there and grab it.
Absolute legend. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Stay safe,
Take care,
brother.
boys.
Thank you, Paul.
Stay safe, Paul.
Stay safe,
Ciao,
man.
man.
Stay safe.
You too. See you later. Wash your hands.
Thank
Bye, man.
Get some sleep.
Get some
Yeah,
sleep.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul. Ah, man.
Get some
That was
sleep.
awesome. That was brilliant. Fair play.
I
Well, we
guess I
managed
got-
to say goodbye. We managed to say goodbye properly as well. That's important. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Twice.
Absolutely. Twice.
Yeah, twice. Well, that was an eventful episode, boys. I tell you what.
Oh, I know.
Christ.
God, a lot went wrong there.
13.
Oh man, I'm having kittens. My end, honestly, I'm like clicking everything. I think the mic issues. Well, I think we were sorting that out. I think it was the connection, or I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look into that. I'll have to have a look into that. Or I think it might have been Paul's mic. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people asking what it was and can we resolve it, etc. But yeah, it's all sorted.
I kind of forgot about it after a while. Like you did to start with. I was like, I'm used to it now. It's fine.
It's Gremlins,
It is,
Dave.
it is
Gremlins.
great though, like you know, having Paul on the CrowCast now, where you remember, boys, when we first did the Winter's End, and like looking at him going, oh, it's Paul Anthony there, you know. And I don't think I spoke to him because it was like, oh, you know, he does that, and we're here, and now to get him on board, and he loves the band, and the Planet Rock love the band, and it's just great, man. It's great to have him on the CrowCast. It's wicked.
Yeah, great
Holy
guy,
damn.
man.
Yeah, I'm very supportive.
They're all good guys, you know, the Planet Rock guys. Like we've met them all now.
Yeah.
We got to know them all, and they're all really, really good guys.
They really are.
And I'm not just saying that because
Thank you, guys. Need a night down at the Blue Oyster Club.
Well, I definitely am happy to answer a few questions, boys, because it's been a bit of a glitchy night. Let's end it on a good one. Let's try and
Yeah.
let's have a chat to everybody.
Yeah.
And see.
Come on
where
in,
we go from
family.
there.
Tell us what you got, family. Get some questions.
I got one by you from Howard Atkins earlier. What pluses have you all got from lockdown? Do you want to answer that one first, Lloyd? I could see you were on the trigger then.
Yeah, it's made me realise that it's easy to sort of take a judgment on things and like people's situations and stuff when we don't actually know what they're going through. So it's kind of taught me to kind of stop and think a little bit about how it's affecting people, and just other people have feelings as well. Just because you can't always see them, it's just kind of taught me to go, whoa, hang on now, don't go fucking full Nelson on this guy here. He's probably feeling shit as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just taught me a few more values in that way, I think. Anyway,
Dave?
probably just how like fragile life is, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? And how, like, you know, the human race is advanced and all the rest of it, but you know, it's really fragile when you think about it, not to take stuff for granted, you know, because that's what I've learned from it.
Yeah, family for me. You know what we do, and whether you're working all the hours God sends, whatever job you're doing, and then that's not there anymore. And then obviously we go out touring a lot, and I've just seen so much of my family, and I didn't really before, which is awesome. So don't take that for granted, you know, because you do, don't you? You think, oh, they're always there. Or I'll call round, or I'll, yeah, you just take it for granted, and nothing can be anymore. I think that's proven. Even like going out to the cinema or going down the beach, or those things we always took for granted, like it's there, it's down the bottom of the street, or down round the corner. It's like can't. Mad. So don't take anything for granted.
Ronnie?
I'd say a bit of everything that you all said, and friends as well. Realizing your friendships. It's been really nice every Saturday. Meeting up with some people that I don't know. Sometimes I don't get to see them for months, and we're still close. But this lockdown, it's just been nice to spend a bit more time with them, and yeah. So I'd say a touch of what you guys said, and and a bit more self-belief. And I said that to you the other day, didn't I, Shane? I seem a bit more focused, a bit more. I don't feel as agitated anymore. I don't feel as worked up, which I think the rat race was getting me like that. It's almost now I've adapted to, because my life isn't really going to change much after this. And I think I said that to you earlier, Lloyd. I like the fact now I've got a lovely balance of I get to spend time with the family. I see my daughter the other day, as you all know, with my granddaughter and that was lush. So I've got that beautiful bubble that I'm in, and then I've got the band. So the only thing that's going to change is when we're on the road a lot, and then when I come home, I get to concentrate back on that as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's just been it's been really nice, like to kick back. I think what you said then, Shane, about the family side of it is appreciating what I do have and realizing what I don't need. So yeah, that's been a big kind of moment, that is.
Love it. This is a good question. Now, what's your most prized possession?
I was just looking at that. My
I haven't
heart.
really got one.
It's my Les Paul,
heart.
that is.
Without my heart, I'm nothing.
My Les Paul. Nothing else I really care about. Just my Les Paul.
It would have to be like, the studio setup. I can't be without that now. I've got to create music. So, or like the piano, the keyboard, the guitar. I couldn't be out. I can't be without that now. I need it to function.
Harriet said, "What about the dog, Dave?" Well, the dog's not a possession. Come on now. Part of the family, she is.
Dogs for life, Dave. Not just for Christmas. But
It's funny when all that clicking was going on. Shane texted over. He was like, "Is that your dog?"
Well, I didn't know if it was because we could
she turned into a dolphin like that.
No, I thought she was under your desk chewing on a bone or something.
No. He usually is her making noises, but it wasn't today. She was whining earlier, mind, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was whining, yeah, I could see. She wanted to go out, and I was like, she's not going out yet.
Tracy Bailey, what's the first thing you'll do when the lockdown is over? Well, we're
jam with the boys.
Yeah, I was going to say we're kind of a bit behind England at the moment, so it's a step at a time. But yeah, I'd say have a jam, like really. That's what I'm looking forward to. The good thing is now, obviously, I see the family. I've been seeing my friends every week, which is great as well. So it's the next stage is to get in a room and have a jam, innit, boys? That's the great one. And then a game of footy. I really fancy a game of footy.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds mad, but yet again, you don't realize I can go out on a bike, or like my boy's been doing mountain walks and stuff. But we both said the other day, just that interaction and having a kick around with everybody, it really makes a difference when you take that away, like, or you're just not allowed to, like, you know. So yeah, jam and a game of footy. I think, like,
I'll have a jam, a day out in a theme park for me.
Have you got any more questions for there, Lloyd? I'm just. Do you have a fantasy football league within the band? Who's the best, and who's your captain going to be? Do you have a fantasy football league? This is Derek. Let me put it up. Do you have a fantasy football league within the band, or within the band? Who's the best, and who's the captain going to be? Well, we do have a football team, Derek. I would safely say Shane would probably be the captain and the better player out of all of us. But we haven't got a fantasy football league. We just got a proper league, haven't we? We got a proper, like, a little football team. And I think the goal is to take on Steve Harris. I keep saying this.
We're gonna kill him.
Put it out there, as you know, but put it out there, keep saying it, and it will happen. Do you know what I mean? So Steve Harris, if you're listening, or if anybody knows him, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Come on, Crows are coming for you.
Massive respect for you and everything you do. But if you play against the Crows, we're going to have you. We're going to have you, Steve. We're going to have you.
That Chopper at the back. Take him out.
Yeah. What's
Is
this?
it bad?
Are Liverpool going to be crowned champions on Sunday? Oh God, go the
Fuck off.
Reds!
Steve Harris would batter me, Dave.
I don't know. You're quite tasty, Lloyd.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah,
Or legs like
back on
tree trunks.
tomorrow.
What's that?
Football's back on tomorrow. That's going to
Yeah.
be different.
Who plays it? It's Aston Villa and someone's. No, it's not. It's Aston
Sheffield,
Villa.
and then Man City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Me and my boy were watching
It's
La
on
Liga
BBC
the
as
other
well,
day.
isn't it?
What, Dave?
Is it on BBC as well?
I don't know, mate. I don't
I
know.
think they're showing. I think they're showing them on terrestrial TV as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's really good.
Hmm.
Yeah, me and my boy were watching La Liga the other day, and that was bizarre because they had a virtual crowd, and they were piping in the crowd as well. The noise.
That's weird.
But every now and again, kind of like CrowCast episode 13, it would fucking glitch. So the crowd
The ball would go.
No. The crowd would disappear, and like literally, you just see an empty stand. So you're like double tuck, like, do you know what I mean? So, and then when they would celebrate, like we were watching Barca in the end, and Barca scored. They run over to the corner flag, and obviously they couldn't get the virtual templates up. So then you just see an empty stand, and then you can see the rest of the team like up in the stand.
Oh my God.
It's fucking mad. But they were piping in the crowd noise, which did make it more atmospheric. Like, do you know what I mean? The same with I watched wrestling on the weekend, and there was one match they did it right at the end. I was thinking, what the fuck? They piped in like literally a little bit of crowd noise. Because they had a few of the wrestlers in the crowd clapping and chanting throughout the pay-per-view, but then right at the end they piped it in. I tell you what, it makes a massive difference. Fans of sport or music, without that, it's honestly it's a different machine, boys.
Do you know what? Right, you're right there, but it even goes back to, do you know, like comedy shows, right?
Mhm.
Where you're watching a comedy sitcom, right?
They
And
do it
then-
on only for results, but
Yeah, with
pump
the
the laughter in the back.
You take that laughter out, it ain't as funny. I don't know what it is when
No.
you hear somebody laughing, it's funnier. Or
Whoever
you hear,
came up with that idea
infectious,
is
then.
genius.
yeah, it's mad.
Dub the laughter in.
Yeah, you won't hear a comedy with that on anymore. Don't have laughter tracks on anymore, do they?
No.
Maybe like Mrs. Brown's Boys or something.
Yeah. There's a question here now. Phil Metcalf, has the current situation influenced the writing of new songs? The creativity, yeah, but I find, which is unusual for me, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, I feel down, or it's because I am very on my emotions and stuff, and that comes out on the paper, but I'm not thinking about writing about the current situation. I'm writing creativity wise, like lots of ideas are coming, but it ain't based on this, because I almost feel like this is temporary, so it's false. It's not, even though it's real, it's not real. It's not real life. It's just the current situation. I almost feel like it's a temporary thing. So therefore, I mean, it'd be different if it was affecting me really bad. But like I said, I'm seeing a lot of my family. I'm in a great position where I can nip out down the woods or go for a walk and see my family. So I'm not really in a bad place, so to speak. So I'm not writing about the situation, but creativity wise, yeah, flowing. Any about you boys?
I'd
just-
say if anything, it's fucking enhanced everything I'm doing. So, it's nice to come upstairs, like you said, and I can just go behind there or spend hours setting up a kit, or you know what I mean. It's magic for me, but realistic, like we got the merch. Thank you, CrowFamily, yet again, keeping us busy with the merchandise. We're keeping that machine absolutely pumping. So doing that, ordering more. I've literally, I said it to my wife earlier, I felt like the last week and a half has really felt like a job. It's in a good way. It's really felt like my living, like, do you know what I mean? So, because if I'm not doing that, I'm doing something else, or obviously we're contacting people, or we're setting up the next CrowCast broadcast or whatever, and then it's back to jamming, and it's, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I sent you over like a little daft little drum thing the other day, Shane, but even that is just, I was able to do it. Do you get what I mean? And like I went up and I played a cover the other day, and normally it's life that takes over, as you know, like, you know, so you're kind of there going, oh, well, I got to do that. And then I've got to do that. Then I got to do that. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes almost, do you know what I mean? And that's it's a sad place to be, that is. And then you try and do it and you're rushing it and you really aren't relaxed, or your approach isn't organic. I think that's the best word. It isn't organic. It's like, oh, well, I got to make time for it, and I've got to do this now, and I got to do that. And there's just there's an urgency about it rather than a natural, oh, wicked, I'm going to go upstairs because I've got a great idea, so I'm going to do that. Or so yeah, it's been fucking awesome.
The only annoying part for me is that most of my creativity comes at stupid o'clock, and then I can't go singing in my studio because I'll wake everybody up. That's the only downfall. Whereas where I was before, my studio was like isolated, and I'd be in there till stupid o'clock. I can't do that now. I can just like, I'm whispering into the microphone and to lay something down, where I can really get my, you know. But that's the only downfall, really.
There's a question for a few boys. This is for Ron. From Rob Evans. Did you work out who left the amp in the end?
No. Amp gate still continues. So no, but it works. It's a great little amp. I'll be probably looking to sell it very soon. So watch this space, like, because I don't really need it. Because obviously, what you can't see now, you can see the drums, because all the leads will run into here, as the boys know, and anybody who got a studio. So all my spaceship is kind of what I'm looking at now. And what I don't really need is an amp. And the boys don't need it because it's not what they use. It's not their flavor. So yeah, nothing. The mystery continues, and we're looking at new residencies as we speak. I shall be moving.
The for sale sign's going up.
Just to let everybody know as well, we're replenishing everything in our web store.
Yes, great time.
So they're like the red t-shirts, for example. There's like large and extra large missing, so we're replenishing every single size and every single garment that we have. So we should have that back and replenished in like a week or two, just so everybody knows. Thank you so much for the support with the merch as well. You know, we've been really busy, as Ron said, with it all, and that's just because you guys supporting us. Thank you so much.
Do any of you, let me put this up, Deban, do any of you watch other bands' live feeds or YouTube, like Toby Jepson, Mark Daly, or Stonebroken? Yes, I do, Debs. I logged in, a few people see me on Toby's post the other day, and they said hello. And then I was asked if I was a Little Angels fan. But no, I kind of like Wayward Sons. So I wanted to see what Toby was up to, and I think what he's doing is absolutely great. I've seen a little bit of Stonebroken, but Friday's quite a busy. I know it seems mad, we're in lockdown. Friday's quite a busy day for me. So it's the timing. But I haven't seen the other one, no.
I watched a bit of Phil Campbell from. He's incredible, mate. Incredible.
I've missed him the last week, but yeah, when he gets going, it's class.
What's that song? The Weight. Take the weight off, Sally. You done a cover. Oh, it's amazing. It's a few weeks ago. It was just one cover he did. I was like, oh man, that voice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like he literally puts everything into it. And and I love that as an artist. That's what we do. You could just tell, like, it's just, there's nothing false. It is 100% him, and he's spilling his guts. It's the honesty performance thing, and I love it. I watched Toby Jepson as well, but Phil Campbell for me is like brilliant. I'd love to do a song with him. I'd love that. If you watch it, Philo.
Hello.
What about you boys? Have you seen anybody, Dave? What about you, Dave?
I watched the Still Broken ones they've done a couple of times just to see what's up. I saw a little bit of Toby Jepson's. Like I said, I sent it over to you tonight to have a look. And I watched that new wave of classic rock thing a couple of weeks ago. I just watched the Wagons bit at the end, so I've been watching there. So yeah, I've been dipping in and out and having a little look. Like, you know, nothing major, but just seeing what's going on in the world of the rock scene. Like,
Dipping.
yeah.
There's loads around. I mean, I've been on YouTube. I said that a couple of episodes ago. There's my boy puts me in the loop with a lot of like the youngsters that are doing this. There's even people not in our scene at the moment, and they're doing really cool things, boys, like writing songs online and doing covers online. But they do the whole process as well. I think I told you. So they've either got like GarageBand or Pro Tools or some sort of software setup, and then they just do it all, and they interact with everybody exactly kind of what we're doing, but they're just sitting there just playing guitar and building the track. And I found myself lost a few times now where they do like 2-3 hour shows. There's a lot of nothing, but I think if you're into all of that creativity, I haven't been tempted to write anything yet. Like the other day he was doing a bit of drums and he did something and I wanted to go, oh, slam a floor tomba there, because other people do that. They'll say to him, and he will listen, the guy, and he'll kind of drop things and he go, oh, that's sick, man. Yeah, that's wicked. But yeah, I just kind of just sitting back and watching at the moment. It's pretty cool.
That's good. That is cool.
Awesome.
Yes, it's just the timing, isn't it? Because they can't go on the road. It's just where we are in the world at the moment. It's, you know, people are thinking of ways to try and up the game and entertain everybody more than anything, you know, and keep getting your name out there. So that's the cool thing about it, like, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to have the technology in it and around us to be able to, you know, for people like artists now to be able to do that kind of thing. You know, if this had been 20, 30 years ago when this had happened, what would you have done as a musician, really? Like, in terms of putting yourself out there publicly, you couldn't really done a lot, could you?
That's right, man.
So, you know, we just spoiled like that, really.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
There's a few questions there, Ron.
Oh, I didn't. Where we to? What's the name? Go on.
Nicola Richards. Not sure this has been asked yet. But are you getting the
name, sorry?
CrowCast? Nicola Richards. Are you getting the CrowCast vests in? Yes. Yes. They're on order. We're getting them in soon. So again, in the next couple of weeks. It's just that we've said this many times, but it's not so much as putting the order in. It's obviously these companies shipping out to us is taking longer than usual. It's the same when we deliver stuff or send stuff out. It's taking longer than normal. In some areas, I should say. But yeah, CrowCast vests are on order, which is cool.
Yeah, with a few other little goodies as well.
Yes.
And for anybody who are wondering what we're on about, somebody asked earlier who designed the CrowCast t-shirt.
Yeah,
Asylum-
that's a company, Asylum 77. They helped us with the artwork for the album Point of No Return. So like anything, you know, when you sort of meet new people and they do good work for you, you kind of call on them again. So we did, and we told him about the idea. We told him about some there was a few we had actually. But we just all sort of agreed on the one we got now, CrowCast, that sort of symbol and stuff represented us well. So yeah, Asylum 77 they're called. Check them out.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Phil, what other guests have you got lined up? And are there any other band members you could get on to do an online jam on the CrowCast? Invite Phil Campbell or Toby Jepson. We've got plenty of guests lined up. If you actually keep an eye on our socials tomorrow, we're going to announce next week's guest. So I'm sure a few of you will be happy with that one. Regarding getting people on and having a jam, I mean, Christ, we'd love to do it ourselves, and that's an hard enough task as it is. It's the latency we're having an issue with at the moment. I think a lot of artists are online. So we don't want to kind of, like tonight we've had a lot of gremlins, a lot of glitches. So the last thing we want to do is put something out there everybody can't kind of get to grips with,
Yeah, if we're gonna do it, it's gotta be good. That's just the type of band we are, really. So
we did try. We tried using some software the other day, but there's still quite a lot to work out with that. Where we were trying to jam live in everybody's house, but yet again, it's there'll probably be something when everything goes back to normal. It's almost like they never thought, nobody really thought of this moment. Like, do you know what I mean? And the hardest thing is there's a lot of pre-recorded stuff, but we always look at it unless we can kind of come at you live. We don't want to kind of sit on the drums and mime, I guess. Do you know what I mean? It's just a personal choice. It's nothing against it. It's just like, we just can't wait to give you a proper Crow show, so patience, I suppose. It's frustrating for us, isn't it, boys?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to I can't wait to get back jamming, boys. I really can't.
Yeah, and like the worst thing is, not kind of being a Debbie Downer, but we see all the dates that are lined up, and obviously, we're like you, all the fans. We're hearing about them being cancelled probably about the same time. Some of them, there's genuinely some gigs we found out live on the fan page. That's why we appreciate everything that the fan page do. So, and that's not down to anything. It's just obviously like a few things kind of happening sudden, or it's just not getting back to us. So yeah, we're looking forward to hopefully some that gets rescheduled, and hopefully doing a show in 2020. It'd be nice to because we've still got a few booked in, so
Be nice to end the year actually playing a gig, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
gotta lose some weight first.
Oh, me.
yeah. That's what I said to you boys earlier. Get the birthday out the way, and then no carbs.
In all fairness, I think everyone has put on weight during this lockdown.
Any children's size t-shirts coming? Something we are looking into. We've been talking about it. So yeah, if there's enough demand. Pardon?
Where'd you get yours from, Ron? I had to go there.
Childish. I did laugh, man. I went on the fan page and seen that photo from Police Academy of me and you. That rocked me out there. And I love the fact you went, shh, they're on to us. Yeah. Before we go as well, that
Look at them.
Look at them. Thank you so much for buying these. We did sell out, but we have ordered more.
Yeah. So you can order them right now. They're coming tomorrow.
They're cool.
There we go.
They're awesome here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what Shane said earlier, just so everybody gets what's going on. We can only order a limited amount of merch at the moment. So when we are getting it, you're all being fantastic and grabbing it. So we're kind of trying to be cleverer now and order maybe merch ahead of the game. So you've got something, but then obviously you spread the word and more people buy it. So we have to order more, and then we have to wait for all the suppliers because there's not enough people working in the warehouses, and that's how things have slowed down the chain, A
lot of skeleton crew, innit? A lot of companies are working all down to a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people jumping on your non-funny joke, Shane, saying about Mother Care. I get my clothes from Mother Care. Is Adams even a thing now, or was that old school?
I remember Adams.
Oh yeah, Adams. The Apple. The Apple.
Yeah, that's right. These people were there in town, didn't it?
My favourite red shorts from there.
I had a few outfits from there as a kid. Dungarees.
Oh yeah, I got a hip flask as promised. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, 1 litre. 1 litre hip flask. Good
Bloody hell.
God.
Is that the green old special?
Mother Care is gone too. Mother Care is gone too.
I remember the Mother Care in
Yeah.
Cardiff had a Timothy tree. Remember that, Dave? He would talk to you.
Timothy Tree.
Yes. Oh my
Remember
god.
No,
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Wow.
no, I don't remember that.
I'd never remembered that unless you had
Sounds
said
creepy. Sounds creepy.
That was
Was it?
brilliant. The tree, you had eyes to start talking to you. Timothy the tree.
Yeah.
That sounds creepy.
It was fantastic.
You know, you'd have a hell of a laugh at that, Dave, you would.
I'm just picturing some how Lord of the Rings I am.
Right. Well, before we go, boys, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you can subscribe, hit the notification on the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, subscribe. Lucky boys.
Oh, shame.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That is. Dave, pass it up. Nah, I don't want to fucking play. I don't want to play. It's been a strange. There we are. You're going to take it up. That would have been funny if everybody was prepared and I wasn't. Then, like,
You could have just thrown it at me, Anne.
Thanks for being patient. It's been quite a glitchy episode. There's a few technical problems. We will have a look at it. We're always trying to kind of improve what we do on a Tuesday for you guys. Keep your questions coming in. I think the admins have set up a section on the fan page where you can They have, yeah, Lloyd?
Yeah, they have, yeah. It works great. So I got to thank them for that. Fair play. Great work, guys.
Awesome.
Great.
It's a good idea.
So, yet again, thanks
if
to all the
you- if you-
admins for doing that.
And if you've got any ideas, guys, that you want to see on the CrowCast, put it down. We're always listening. We're always watching. Always watching.
Watching Wazowski.
And we'll definitely incorporate that into the next CrowCast if it's a good idea, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we have got scheduled as well in a couple of weeks. We might do another get the fans on and have a chat with them because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good fun. That was.
That was a good laugh.
So, yet again, if you enjoyed that episode, come and join us. Come and ask a question. Let's see how you're doing because that was important for us to make sure everybody else is all right and everybody's doing good. Because like I said, the moment we're all back in a rock room together, that's the goal.
Yep.
Tidy. Well, all right. That's enough for now, then, boys. You can see Dave. He's like, I am so fucking done.
How tired I am. Look at my eyes.
I know there's people going, I'm watching them yawn.
Well, as of next week, I'm no longer working a Tuesday, so I won't be so tired on a Tuesday night. So thankful
If,
for that.
it doesn't matter if you're working or not. You are always tired, bro. You take
You're
like 3
always
naps
tired.
a day. Oh, I'm just going to go and have a nap.
Not anymore, I don't. That fucking dog won't let me. She me up at 5 this morning, barking at the wind, like, oh man. She's trying to protect the house. Can't really have a go at it.
Why don't you get her a bit of company, Dave? Get another one.
Oh fuck, you know.
Yeah.
Look at that, Dave.
Talked about that, but I
You come on, we'll have a fucking house left.
I'm sure Lisa would love the surprise of coming home tomorrow and maybe finding another 2 dogs at least.
India will be running around with a fucking skirting board in her gob.
Yeah. Let's see if Dave can have 3 dogs by next week's CrowCast. How about that?
I would, but yeah, I don't think I could cope with it. I'd love that though.
Right. Thank you, everybody. CrowFamily, thank you for joining us. We will see you next week, next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. We've got a great guest next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Try on the socials.
Peace out.